Welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly. Thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase a bag. I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch.
In my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many ones that are so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's not of no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
Ooh, I did not sleep worth a shit last night. I could not get, dude. I laid down, right? It must have been like close to like 10:30. I lay down, I toss and I fucking turn and I toss and I turn. I'm wide awake, dude. I'm wide awake. I kid you not. I am so wide awake. I hear the room breathing. I'm that wide awake, dude. I'm like, oh my god, this is like. My perception was through the fucking roof, bro. I shit you not. So I'm like, okay. I got up, I went into the other room, got a cookie, and I stood there going through YouTube shorts until about 2 a.m. Still wide awake. And I'm like, Houston, we have a fucking problem. We got a big problem. I finally lay down at 2 and I'm like, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna do it. Takes me probably about another hour. I finally fall asleep. And I still feel wide awake. I don't know what's going on. No fucking clue. But we gonna make do with what we got. We gonna make lemonades. We gonna make that lemonade out of lemons. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make this shit work. I don't know what's going on with me, bro. I don't even think it's like insomnia. There's no way, because like if you have insomnia, at least you're tired, dude. I feel so wide awake. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on with me. Nope, no music. This looks like a fun game. Oh! Damn, bro, I might actually end up playing this. This looks like fun. This kind of looks like Zomboid. Oh, it's out now. Oh shit, okay. You see the new Noir 3 game launched? Ain't you excited to go play it? What the hell is this? Oh, this is that one game. Oh, we're actually gonna watch this. No, we gotta watch this. This looks good. I was curious to see how good this game is. Is this another third-person horror game like Resident Evil? Is this like real-world footage? What the fuck? Sheriff initially downplayed. Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely want to be playing the Resident Evil game when it comes out. The game I'm most excited for is that new game that's coming out next month. That one where you could ride the dragon and the mech robot thing. I hope it's good, man. I'm gonna be pissed. This one looks alright. Looks alright. Looks like your standard third person survival horror. Oh yeah, they're making a Baldur's Gate TV show. And it's going to be made by the same people that made the Last of Us TV series. And we all know how that turned out, so I'm sure this will be great. They've already come forward and said that they're not going to be talking with the studio developers, and they're going to have the same exact developer that made the Last of Us TV show or TV series on that as well. So, you know, it'll turn out really good, I guess. The Dark West. What is this? That looks... You know, this kind of reminds me of Diablo 3. Oh, excuse me. I actually think that I would play a game like that. That doesn't look too bad. Oh, whoops. What the fuck? I think that's it. These are deep dives. That looks crazy.
Cyberstab has remained as a stain on the face of our galaxy. We have the chance to take it from our enemy once and for all. The fate of this historic march rests in the hands of the Helldivers.
It's only with the games, bro. I don't know what it is. These developers need to use, like, royalty-free music. Why is this so hard? Screw Fable. Yeah, Fable's not looking too hot. I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to see the map. What does the map look like? That looks cool.
Affect this reinforcement budget. Should the reinforcement budget run out, this mission will be aborted.
Oh, so you have like a death meter.
Initial reports from the front lines reveal that we are facing a new
Abomination! Wait, don't put the... No! Is there something? Listen! Listen!
That's interesting. Okay, let's watch this review.
I've happily put more than 100 hours into as quickly as I have with Mugenics. This feline-flavored, turn-based roguelike tactical RPG takes place on a 10x10 grid, with mostly traditional classes like fighter, mage, hunter, tank, and necromancer, among others. What sets it apart, aside from the cutesy macabre art style that slathers its creative zones with blood and poop, is that so many of the skills and attributes your team will end up with are randomized and for the most part out of your control, all but ensuring that no two runs will play out the same way and forcing you to improvise and play the hand you're dealt. Combined with the absolute mountain of content here, there's so much that I'm still seeing new enemies, skills, mutations, and loot pop up after more than 150 hours. It's been able to draw me back in time and time again by dangling the possibility of an absolutely wild team coming together and bulldozing through the boss that turned my last party into kibble. I still haven't seen the final ending after all of that time, and this game has several of them, but I can't imagine I'll be getting tired of it before I do.
You know what I just noticed about this game that is a huge red flag already? He hasn't beat the game.
Eugenics is a game about cats, but it's not necessarily going to appeal to people who passionately love them, because it's a dark comedy that treats them as meat to be put through a grinder. If you've played any of Edmund Macmillan's previous classics...
Oh, it is like The Binding of Isaac! Oh, dude, I love that game. If you've never played The Binding of Isaac, oh my god, dude, that was high school.
You'll have a sense of the type of humor to expect. It's delightfully gross and endlessly weird at every turn. Even knowing that, as a longtime cat owner myself, I was perhaps a little bit too conservative about just how unsympathetic and detached you're expected to be. I probably took longer than I should have to unlock crucial upgrades for my house, because doing so requires shipping dozens of cats off to live with a set of goofy weirdo NPCs never to be seen again. This guy will only take newborn kittens, and he needs tons of them to unlock crucial information on how to breed more. Other characters want older cats, mutated cats, injured cats, or cats who have been on runs to specific places in order to improve stores or add new rooms to your house, among other things. Eugenics requires you to think differently about your characters than most RPGs. Cats with low or unremarkable stats are lost causes who will just weigh your squad down, so you're best off spending them like currency and keeping only the picks of various litters. Selectively breeding your cats takes place here. To pump out the best kittens, you'll have to place furniture with stats like simulation and comfort in a sort of Diablo-style inventory Tetris. And if you do it right, you'll end up with some good mutants that have innate abilities and get increasingly weird looking. Also,
that's
you
cool.
Clean up poop every day, because for some reason there's no litter box. When everything's
low-key, I kind of want to play this.
arranged to your liking, you hit the end day button, and your cats will choose their own mates based on who's in a room with them, as well as their own genders, libidos, and orientations. Yep, there are gay and bisexual cats. And yeah, those animations take obvious pleasure in being unsettling, but they can be toned down in the menus, FYI. Optimizing this to produce the most powerful cats possible with the inherited stats and traits you want, while also avoiding too much inbreeding, is tricky. But you can't really fail at this part. Even if you lose or give away all of your cats, you can just start again from scratch using the strays who show up every day. Eugenics doesn't make managing a lot of them super easy though. There's no way to view a list of all your cats, you just have to tediously cycle through them one at a time. You do unlock some tools to label them and view their gnarly family trees, but when you have 40 cats roaming around, it can be a pain to find what you're looking for when you're putting a team together.
Jesus.
But that's another area where Mugenics is unconventional and unpredictable, because you can't initially see what all their starting abilities will be. You'll get their base stats, mutations, and basic attacks, and sometimes they'll come with a spell or passive abilities from one of their parents. But it's not until you lock in their classes that you'll learn what you're really working with and if they'll synergize well. Each of the 12 classes has 75 abilities that might pop up.
75 abilities? Jesus Christ!
That I do from picking my hand up in poker, or seeing modifiers on a daily run in Slay the Spire or Monster Train 2. Sometimes it's good news and I'm excited to see where it takes me, and sometimes it's not, and I brace myself for a thrashing and just hope for a surprise turnaround if I can survive long enough to level them up and unlock some better skills. I do wish it would let me see what items I have in my inventory while I'm picking my classes though. That's pretty important information for building synergies. It's also tricky to keep track of what you have on hand because gear in Mugenics doesn't last forever. You can expect to get 3, maybe 4 runs out of something before it breaks. And that's assuming you don't wipe and lose all but one thing you took with you and picked up along the way. I actually enjoy the way this prevents me from relying too heavily on any one strategy though. Taking your favorite gear on only a few runs may not sound like much, but that's more than the actual cats get. Another reason you can't count on the tricks you used in the previous run working just as well on the next, even if you take the same classes and gear, is that each cat only gets one adventure in which to level up and develop their skills. You'll be able to use them in combat 1 or even 2 more times during special battles where major monsters attack your house. That was tough to get my head around at first, because I'm accustomed to my RPG party members sticking around for a while, or at least until I get them killed. When your party heads out onto one of the 3-acts adventure maps, you'll start with a single path.
Oh, so like regardless of what happens, you end up losing them. That's interesting.
That then branches off into 2, each of which has 2 completely different stages, each packed with their own sets of unique enemies. There are so many, you definitely won't see them all even after several runs. You'll definitely want to stop and read their descriptions before diving in, because some of them have some extremely nasty tricks up their sleeves. The stakes are already pretty high given that your cats get permanently injured every time they get downed, and can be outright killed if their bodies are destroyed by attacks or eaten by zombies. But some enemies can instantly and permanently kill a cat, or infect it with a parasite that takes up a gear slot, for example. So watch out. Each zone is also stocked with multiple bosses that range from powered-up versions of each class to huge, nasty monsters with their own creative, game-changing mechanics. But on balance, these are excellent battles that make me think differently about how to manage my team's turn order and abilities. One thing that stands out to me about the structure of Mugenics runs, aside from how they can take as long as 2 hours once you've unlocked all the zones and some secret ones,
2 hours for a run?
You kind of rarely get to make decisions about the path you're taking between battles. You mainly get to choose between the default path and a harder one with better loot and one more battle to level up a cat in, and then very occasionally between 2 types of rewards. That makes the between battle encounters feel a little bit less interesting than in some similar games, especially when they're basically a coin flip without any indication of which one will give you a bonus and which one might hurt or kill a cat. There are of course some more in-depth multi-stage encounters where you're picking between a bunch of options where your chances of success are determined by a cat's stats. However, since the cat whose stats you're working with is chosen randomly, there are kind of 2 layers of luck involved before you get a shot at a good outcome. It often feels completely random, but that's alright because so much of Mugenics is doing the best you can with the circumstances beyond your control. During combat, there are so many different things in play that the interactions between cats' mutations, passives, spells, gear, environmental modifiers, and enemies can get crazy complex. And figuring out exactly what happened, or predicting what will happen, can be like investigating a crime scene, and often with just as much blood splatter. All the answers are in there somewhere if you know where to look and study the rules carefully. Sometimes it's all about, you guessed it, poop. It can get chaotic when there's a lot on screen, but there is a tactical view that clears things up, mostly. Usually, if you think some interaction might work, it probably will. Water and ice will put out fire, water will conduct electricity and zap everything that stands in it, that sort of thing. It does kind of stand out as illogical when things like robots are susceptible to bleeding, poison, and parasite infections, and the Butcher class's meat hook weapon can't actually hook meat unless you luck into the right upgrade for it. But again, most of the time it works like you'd expect it to. So one of the biggest joys of playing is when a powerful team dynamic emerges as you earn new skills or raise one cat's stats after every battle. Recently I had a squad with a monk character who could toss out meat pickups. Those usually just heal the team. But when you combine it with a butcher who can turn all those meats into minion fly familiars, and a druid who can then boost those fly stats and turn them into killing machines, it became a way to raise an army in a single turn. On another run I had a cleric whose health regeneration applied to the whole team, and then I got an item that let me continually boost that regen multiple times per turn, allowing my necromancer to run wild with a high damage attack that also drained half his own health. With so many skills out there, there are countless examples like this. And while you won't win the lottery with a great combo on every run, they happen more than enough to make me excited about what might come next. What is a little frustrating when I'm planning out my next moves in a tough fight where every action matters, is that there's no way to access a cat's full character sheet while you're in a battle. So you can't see their list of mutations or all their equipment's full effects when you need that information.
That's kind of stupid. Why wouldn't you be able to click on them and then like hit the start button or something, you know?
It's almost all represented visually on your cats at least, but that does mean you have to remember what a cat having a second head growing out of its butt means, for example. When the rules are changing so dramatically from one run to the next, it would be great to be able to reference all of them at any time.
Meow.
But as if all those variables weren't enough already, Eugenics throws you yet another curveball when it sends you on one of its story or side quests. Those all revolve around these unique, powerful items that you get and then have to equip, and they change the rules in a big way, and you have to take each one to a specific zone.
Slide quest item, apply poison 1 to everything at the start of the battle. Take it to the throbbing domain.
One of the most memorable gives you a 5-second time.
Side quest item, fill the map with glass. At the start of each battle, shoot a glass ball, take it to the core.
Limit on every action, and if you don't make a move, the AI will take over and move for you. I was glad I wasn't playing that one on the Steam Deck because the controls there are serviceable but not nearly as quick as a mouse and keyboard. Another one shook things up by giving my cats random selections of abilities from every class every time they leveled up, creating a team of powerful hybrids that are usually hard to come by. The story itself is pretty light and silly, don't expect any like Hades-style epics here, but it is good for a few yucks.
Man, Hades didn't have a fucking story. It's a roguelike, man. What do you expect? I can't stand it whenever people are trying to compare Hades to... Dude, Hades is... I played Hades. It was extremely light. I think that in my personal opinion, The Binding of Isaac had more of a storyline than Hades.
As you're doing the bidding of an incompetent mad scientist. Another area where Eugenics is truly exceptional is in its sound and music, which are fantastic in both big and subtle ways. It comes with a collection of original and hilarious songs that accompany each level.
Where's that smell coming from? Where's that smell coming from?
That's kind of one of the things that I liked about The Binding of Isaac. Not only were the level designs kind of interesting for what it was in the day and age, you know what I'm saying, back in the way when, but the music was always pretty good too.
And the cat's meows come from a vast selection of different randomly selected voices, including some celebrity cameos. One of the best touches, though, is the crowd sounds. The very best part is what happens when one of your cats is killed in action. That gets me every time, and trust me, I've heard it a lot. Lastly, Eugenics has a fun and surprising approach to the practice of save scumming, where you quit out of a battle that you've messed up and restart it with the knowledge of what not to do. I won't spoil what happens, but there are consequences if you abuse it. Thankfully, you do get some flexibility in case of like a power outage or a spouse demanding you stop playing that game you've been playing for 150 hours and do the dishes, but it's kind of implicit that you do have permission to save scum at least once per run, and yes, I do use that regularly. More than once, I've looked up from playing Eugenics and realized it's 1:30 a.m. It's that kind of tactical turn-based roguelike, where every new run with a new set of mutant feline adventurers is full of potential for something you didn't even know could happen, even after dozens of hours of runs. Maybe you'll earn a completely new ability for a character class that you've used dozens of times, or you'll see a new devious enemy that's never appeared in a zone before, or you'll get a new piece of gear that completely upends the rules and chaos will ensue. You'll definitely see something hilariously gross. There will almost certainly be times you'll be sent back to your house with your tail between your legs and have to breed a new batch of cats to avenge their mulched predecessors, but you'll do it to the tune of some outstanding original songs.
9, really? Man, they just handing these numbers out at high decibels often, aren't they? Interesting, interesting. A 9 on a roguelike? Interesting. Very interesting. So apparently, they're trying to cancel Imaru. Imaru is the girl that did she's the one that had to deal with Mizkif and the whole, like, she threw a stuffed animal at me and I had to put a hole in a wall, or he threw something else at her or something retarded like that. And also the same girl that was, you know, SA'd at TwitchCon. She was like in the middle doing not the guest appearance, the a meet and greet at TwitchCon, and then the guy walked up and then like kissed her or tried to kiss her or whatever. But now she's getting canceled because she wants to stay apolitical, which is retarded.
So this happened yesterday. A lot of people on Twitter have been mad about this. They're mad at Imaru.
Context. A viewer asked Emiru her opinion about ice, and this was her response.
It's on ice. Like, there's a certain extent where I'm like, okay, sure, I get people wanting big content creators say their opinions on important topics, but it's like, if you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to get off the internet. Like, hello?
This is pretty much all.
Yeah, exactly. She's a cosplaying gamer, and you're asking her what, like, that'd be like if someone asked Queso what his political views are, and it's like, why would you go on somebody's stream and ask them that? It's fine if that content creator said what their view was, but whenever they politely refuse and remain apolitical about a topic for obvious reasons, maybe you shouldn't push it, huh?
She said. Then someone posted this clip, creating one of the biggest hate mobs I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Is that real? Holy shit. What is wrong with these people?
On Twitter.
And they're going crazy about this. They're very angry at her for this.
113,000 posts.
'Cause it's actually
113,000. They've reposted this 113,000 times. They've reposted this clip 113,000 times. What the fuck is wrong with these people, man?
super easy to stream and have opinions. I'll show you. Fuck ICE, fuck Donald Trump and everyone in his administration, fuck Elon Musk, free Palestine, the US is stolen land built by stolen people, Luigi did nothing wrong, abortion is healthcare, leave trans people the fuck alone. So it's so easy for you to just repeat my opinions to me. And you can see all these people attacking and then, oh,
That's
racist.
Crazy. That's crazy. That's insanity.
Now she's also a racist. Oh, this is Denims.
Because you know, attacking somebody that doesn't want her politics to be known and remain apolitical on a platform so she can continue to do what she loves to do makes her racist. A SA victim of multiple, like, levels, an abuse victim, a fucking awesome streamer that does nothing but game and cosplay is a racist simply because she wants to remain apolitical. That's definitely how you're going to get people to join you. It's this mentality of, if you're not with me, you're against me, is so fucking stupid.
The Denims talk about this.
When did people on the right get so...
You know, she's one to talk. OnlyFans. She also getting sued by Ethan Klein. This is the same girl. She's getting sued into the ground by Ethan Klein for stealing copyright content. It's insane to me that you should even, like, this is the same batch of people that made that video with, oh my god, Content Cop, and it all blew up in their face. You think that these people would learn? I mean, Hassan's literally being cannibalized by his own community as we speak. I thought that they would never get off of the, like, Collargate situation. And you really want to hear these people's opinion?
slandering and defaming by calling someone a chud.
You shouldn't go and harass people for no reason. Just because she doesn't want to talk about it on stream, they treat her as if she's a fucking Nazi.
And this is how it is with everybody, by the way. Like, if you come across these people in the street, it's like that one dude that got arrested that was like screaming at just normal pedestrians walking on the sidewalk, screaming at them to say, like, telling them to say fuck ICE, like, violently, like, scream fuck ICE. And it's like, dude, what if they just want to go on about their day and they don't want to be involved with this? What if they just want to go and do their own thing? What's so wrong about that? You're not going to persuade anybody to join your cause when you're screaming at them to say fuck ICE. They're going to be polarized in the exact opposite direction because they don't want anything to do with you. That's what's going to happen.
Dude, I don't want to face
And let's say Imru, you know, did believe in everything that, or didn't believe in anything that ICE was doing. Sure. You're not going to convince somebody by calling them racist. You're not. You're not going to convince them. You're going to make them fucking radical, man. They're not going to want anything to do with you.
On the screen.
What the fuck?
Ignore an opportunity where you could talk about something, maybe your audience doesn't like it, maybe you could educate them on it a little bit.
Educate them on it. This is my favorite word to see people like her use. Because this idea of educate implies some sort of intellectual superiority.
If you're above the age of 18, you should care about politics in your fucking country.
You need to care.
Why? Maybe some people just don't want to get involved with it. What's wrong with that? The only reason why I'm even talking about it is because I make money off of it.
Now you have to care.
You can't say
Like,
well,
yeah.
I'm just not going to care about all this politics stuff. This is by far like the dumbest American quality.
It is so easy to make money off of it too. You just look at a situation and you keep your fucking mind unbiased, and then you just look at everything that's going on and you just be like, yep, nope, that's stupid, or yeah, I kind of like how that's going. Like, it's not complicated.
Politics.
She never.
You see, these people like her, they get their head wrapped up into these politics, and they let the community decide for them what they should be saying. That's the reason why Hassan's community is cannibalizing him. You cultivate this audience of I'm just gonna repeat what's in chat instead of looking at a situation and actually like breaking it apart, like the Renee Good situation or the ICE situation or what's going on with Iran. You let your audience pick and choose what you should say instead of you as an individual looking at a situation and being like, that looks wrong. Something is wrong here. What is wrong with this? That's where a lot of these people get fucked up.
Saying, I'm not into politics.
She never talks about politics at all, period. It's not even enough for someone to be neutral or to not have an opinion. You have to agree with them or they attack you.
Yep.
Racist
That's exactly what they do.
So I will say tides are turning on this particular character. Create any bad memory for them. You're not forming memories at 3 years old, and it's very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old.
This is her talking about taking the kids away from Ethan's wife or Ethan and his wife, I don't know what her name is, and sending them to like somebody else, getting CPS involved in shit. And it's like, that's just crazy.
This is what these people do. I want you to understand this. Because they didn't like
That's
Ethan
Ethan.
Klein, they called CPS on Ethan Klein's family to have his children taken away from him. And the justification
And she wonders why she's getting sued into the ground.
for why it's okay is because the memories that a child would form at 3 years old wouldn't stick, so it's okay to do it to them because they wouldn't remember.
You're not forming memories at 3 years old.
And I love that that's the mentality behind this. Let's completely disregard the fact that you had a child forcibly removed from its mother and father, who were legal citizens in the country, by the way. And no one, like, you can't even, like, emphasize that aspect of it. It's the whole, well, the kid's not going to remember. Like, just imagine the parents, not just the kid. Like, that's fucking traumatizing. You willing to take your political views to a point where you're going to get CPS called on a parent who is, from everything that I understand, Ethan's a really good parent. And so is his wife. I mean, there's obviously no bias there, but I mean, still, like, It's fucked. Like, how? Why?
Very rare that you're forming memories at 5 years old. Nah, yes, you are. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
But even if you are forming any memories at 4...
See, this is why...
You see, the thing is the reason why she says that is because she never actually formed her own memories. So she's still in that, like, I haven't clicked in the world yet. So, you know, of course you would never expect anyone like her to understand that.
Educate everybody.
You have maybe 1 or 2 memories. Yes, you will remember. So
As if that even matters. It's okay to have this bad thing happen to a kid because the kid won't remember it. But this is the way these people think. They will weaponize an agency used to protect children from sexual violence in their internet crusade against a YouTuber who they slightly disagree with around a geopolitical issue. And they will justify, rationalize...
To give you an idea, they started attacking Ethan simply because he didn't see eye to eye with their Israel and Palestine movements. That's the whole reason why they started attacking Ethan.
And make up every excuse in the book for why this is a totally normal thing to do. These people are psychotic. Nobody should be accepting this. It's evil. It's awful. Do you think that normal people think that it's okay?
And the reason why Asmund says slightly disagreed with something, he's being literal with that. Everything... Because his wife was from Israel and she had to serve in the military. It's something you have to do. Once you hit a certain age, everybody is required to serve in the military. I don't know if it's Iran. Don't quote me on that. But his wife had to serve in it. And then she moved to the U.S. But they, like, Ethan and his wife slightly disagreed with what Hassan was saying. And based on that, like, it wasn't even like a full... opposite spectrum take on it either. It was slightly disagreeing with it, and then boom, and this is where we're at. We're calling CPS to get his kids removed. We're sending skulls, human skulls, to his fucking house. Like, no, dude. Like, how can you possibly? Why would you want to accept people in your society that are so polarizing and gassed up on their own fumes that they're willing to alienate you if you don't just repeat what they say to you? It's so fucking crazy.
For everybody to just go and start attacking and making up a bunch of bullshit about a person like this, especially not people that aren't even disagreeing with you. I could understand them being
She didn't even disagree with them. She just refused to answer the question. She wants to remain apolitical. Like,
if she said that, oh, ICE are the greatest people ever and I hate all the immigrants, right? Yeah, I could see them getting mad, sure. But she didn't even say that. This is somebody who just doesn't want to be part of it. But a lot of other people don't speak out about it because they're afraid of the repercussions and they're afraid of the backlash. I'm not. I will do it every single time. I will come out and I will defend this from right-wing people. I will defend this from left-wing people. Nobody should be pressured into having an opinion about anything. If you don't want to say something for whatever reason, you should have every right to do that. And anybody telling you that
that's the real issue here is, like, you should never let anybody pressure you to do anything because, like, if you should make that decision for yourself. You should never let somebody else pressure you into it, because if you do, 9 times out of 10, they're going to lead the conversation. You're going to end up saying something that you know isn't true just to make them fuck off, and it's like, it's just not worth the headache.
Is trying to make you say what they think.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, okay, so let's see. There we go. Well, you know we got to get our goods
Washington
in.
Post writers and the reporters are now outside the office of the newspaper. This looks like they're... Why don't y'all just go work at Target? You're already dressed for it. Just go to Target.
Target ain't gonna hire them. Target ain't gonna hire them. You think Target wants these people? No. Hell no. You know why? because these people cause problems in companies. You tell them to do something instead of putting the fries in the bag, they're going to sit there and give you a lecture about how their emotions make them feel, and it's like, nah, dude, just do your fucking job.
Hey, we do. Who makes the post? We do. Who makes the post? We do.
By the way, if I'm not mistaken, these are all the people that got laid off. They did a massive layoff for I think it was the New York Times, of a bunch. It was like a bunch of oh my god, I keep wanting to say rights activists, but it's not. Green Planet, World, fuck. What did the people at the New York Times get laid off for? What were the people at the New York Times doing as their jobs that got fired? Oh, Washington Post? What were the people doing that were at the Washington Post that got laid off? They laid off like an outrageous amount of people. It was... They laid off 30% of the staff. There was an Amazon reporter? That's crazy.
Who makes the post? We do. Well,
It was...
Ben Brash. Hey, we do. Who makes the post?
Man, how about that? Not anymore.
Not anymore.
So anyway, let me go back. I see this one too. And this is laid off normal people. Well, this sucks. Laid off journalists. Low wrath and ruin. This is what somebody wrote. The bloodbath at the Washington Post today, roughly 1/3 of its staff has been laid off, illustrates the ruthlessly plutocratic and neoliberal nature of the U.S. economy. In the span of a single day, one of the world's most prominent English newspapers is being both crushed politically and restructured at the whim of a billionaire. It's honestly jaw-dropping. Damn.
I love how they have to spin this narrative of it's because he's a billionaire and it has nothing to do with all of these false articles they've been publishing. You know, they totally didn't get sued into the fucking dirt for false articles and seen by the court as false and fake news. It's totally because he's just a billionaire and he can sue whoever he wants.
Bro,
I love it.
That's a big deal. Wow, what a loser. I feel like this is the kind of stuff they talk about, like, whenever a bunch of people got killed in World War I. Really, like, I mean, couldn't you just imagine this? Is somebody talking about, like, oh, wow, like, you know, a bunch of people got, like, killed by tanks or, like, mustard gas or something like that. Take a look at this.
Climate change, that's what it was. It had a lot, oh my god, it had a lot of climate change people in it.
So, the Washington Post had 13 reporters and editors for climate change. A lot fewer climate change reporters at the Washington Post. 13. The Washington, and the number is...
You know, I miss the days whenever you had one writer. What do you need 13 writers for? Yo, like the days of independent journalism as far as it goes in these companies is dead. It's dead. Used to, you would talk about a topic as an independent journalist and it would evolve into something like the Washington Post or the CNN or New York Times. But now they're so top-down driven instead of down-up, meaning journalists at the bottom going up into the company. Now it's the shareholders or whoever owns the companies giving orders from the top down. That, you can't run journalism that way. You can't. You have to have extremely highly motivated journalists, who are independent, thinking for themselves, going out there and looking at topics they want to discuss. Like Nick Shirley. That's the reason why like journalism has gotten where it's at. And it's kind of sad to see people like Nick Shirley having to turn to YouTube, though I think it's more lucrative for him, thankfully so, simply because if he were to get hired by something like the Washington Post or the New York Times, there's a good chance that whatever he would have said about Tim Walz would have ended up like that one dude that got fired from that news show that talked about Pizzagate. It would be just like that. They would call him they'd call him crazy. They'd call him oh my God. Dude, I'm blanking today. The lack of sleep is catching up. They'd be calling him a conspiracy theorist. They'd be shunning him, blacklisting him. He wouldn't be able to get jobs anywhere. Like, no one would listen to him. And then, come to find out 10 years later, whenever it's all said and done and it's blown up in their face, it's like, oh, that was a thing that happened. Like, it's sad.
A little bit inaccurate, right? The Washington Post has reportedly laid off 14 of its 19
What do you need 19 climate change reporters for?
Change reporters.
What do you need that many
The
for?
Washington Post laid off 13.
I remember, like, whenever independent journalism was really a thing, people wouldn't talk about stuff like climate change. They would talk about shit that's hitting their own city, which is probably the reason why most of the cities in the U.S. have turned to shit. Is because whenever you keep upping the stakes and it's like, oh, but the world's gonna end. Well, I mean, like, well, what about all the crime and the fucked up shit that's going on in your own city, man? You ain't worried about the city? Like, what about that?
I'm sorry they lost their jobs.
You got to start at the small parts and work your way big, man.
Boy, what a lost journalistic opportunity. Oh, definitely. And this is it. See,
it's going to be just like Twitter whenever Elon laid off all those fucking workers and then Twitter didn't change at all. It's going to be just like that. It's going to be the exact same.
19 people. See, remember what I said before is that they are a cancer. If you let these people get in there, they hire each other and they hire more of each other. And now they're redundant, but they keep hiring each other because it's not about hiring each other.
Well, not only do they hire each other, but they try to get the people that have been there for a while fired. And the unfortunate fact of the matter is that in most of the states in the U.S., fuck, that was weird. Most of the states in the U.S. are at-will fires, which means that you can fire somebody for no reason at all.
It's about consolidating power. They multiply. They are a cancer. One of so many things. What is this here? Let me see. I pulled this up.
See, this is the reason why it's so dangerous to hire somebody who has a degree and put them as management, because the minute you do that, you usually fuck up the entire team. Because that person has no idea what they're doing. They're usually fresh out of college, and they just want to push their political views because the college did that to them. So it's like, whenever you do that and you don't hire from within and promote upwards, you end up with all these companies that have all these people in there that are firing all the good employees, hiring more of themselves, and then you've got you've established an echo chamber is what you've done. You've literally established a massive bubble that the company now has to cut it off. It's an infection. It's literally an infection. They have to cut the damn limb off because it's infected now. It's crazy.
Is this? Oh boy. Okay, let me go back. I'll see if I can find it. And criminal gang. I'll look at that in a bit. Yeah, I'll pull that up. And sound like Indians? Yeah, definitely. You talking about India? It's not about Indians. It's got nothing to do with Indians. And mainstream journalists are losing their jobs because 23-year-olds with YouTube channels are doing real reporting. That's right. Heather Kelly. I was laid off by the Washington Post today. I know, real original sentence. My first plagiarism in 20 years of journalism. My job was stupid fun and I loved every minute of it. Man. That's just too bad, huh? Stupid is not an adverb.
Yo,
bad, huh?
That JD Vance is just crazy, dude.
Stupid is not an adverb.
Oh my god, man. AI is just... Woo!
Yep, there it is. And you got all these people. I am so happy to see this. I am. And definitely stupid. Yep, all these people are getting sent back. And someone was in a war zone and got fired. Well, hey, the other ones shouldn't have. They shouldn't have poisoned the well. They shouldn't have done it if they didn't want that to happen. So read her own reply. What's her reply? Let me see what this bitch said. What'd she say? I'm going to stare at a wall for the rest of the day. And by a wall, I mean TikTok. And then I'll stand up and get back to what I love. Writing about the ways real humans use tech for good and weird, yes, to distance.
You know what the best part about this is? Is this person is going to do this. They're going to make a video and they're going to post it online on YouTube or something. And then it's not going to get any views. And she's going to do this probably for a couple months, right? And then it's going to set in that the only reason why she was able to stay afloat because of what she was writing about was because she was getting paid at a newspaper company, because that's, or an article writing company, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And she's going to realize that no one was ever really interested in these topics. They were just being published so they didn't have anything else to read. And then it's going to set in, and then she's going to have to get a job, like an actual, like, non-job that it is what she likes doing, because the thing is just because you go to college and get a degree doesn't mean you can be a writer. Like that's
after a bad day. Man.
You have to write about topics that people want to hear about. And whenever you've got 7 writers all talking about climate change, like, come on. But not even 7, 14.
Outside of your ridiculous Washington Post bubble, nobody thinks their work was amazing. Good.
Yep.
Well, what the hell is this?
Look.
The Queen.
There it is. There it is.
Queen of Diversity and Retention Studies has been let go.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Well, hey, that's just what happens, right, guys? And it's just going to get worse. Not the Queen. Yep, word of code, exactly. And so Washington Post, the writers and journalists on there are crying and upset about it. And I want to let everybody know that this is only going to get worse for them. It is. This will only continue getting worse, getting more extreme, and seeing more of them get fired. And the reason why, I'm going to tell you the real reason why.
You know what's really crazy is I kind of wonder if these people got blacklisted once they got fired. Because, you know, like if you own a company and you see this popping up, like, let's say you own the Washington Post and you're having a good, let's say 2022, right? 2022, you're having a good year. You're seeing articles that are really like good. They're really well done, and they're about topics that is currently in the light. And then you hear in 2025, sure, 2 years later, or 3, technically 3, if you want to include all of 2022, you see these topics that nobody really cares about, like the climate change. Like no one's really talking about climate change right now. So why are you seeing articles about climate change? No one wants to see that right now. Everyone's trying to call Trump retarded. Like that's what everyone's talking about right now. So why the hell are you talking about climate change? You know, no one cares about that right now. Everyone's talking about politics. Everyone's talking about how everything's going in the world, how there are things with Iran or Minneapolis. That's what you want to see on a front page of a news publishing company, not fucking climate change. No one's talking about that right now. And that's the issue that is causing these people, these companies to lose massive amounts of money, is you've got this, again, cancer that's keeping you from doing your job because they want to talk about this diversity bullshit instead of talking about stuff that is affecting politics. For example, like, so the FBI went and seized the ballots for 2020's election, and they found Korean chips that paused the election and made the. I don't even really want to say that it was stolen. I'm going to say that they were able to control the ballots from Korea. I'll say that. Allegedly from everything that's come out so far.
Aren't creating anything of value.
We'll look at it
That's
more.
That's the reason why they keep getting removed and they keep getting fired. It's because they're not.
It's like, why aren't any of these places talking about this? That's important.
anything that matters. So if they were doing something that people cared about, that people wanted to watch, none of this would ever happen. But unfortunately, tired of winning already? No, I'm not tired. There are so many other publications this has to happen to. Yes, and gotta produce things? Yes, exactly. Bozo. Rip fucking Bozo.
Wait, what? Oh, that's right.
Writers.
So this is an actual article from the Washington Post.
Racist legacy that many.
This is the kind of shit they're publishing. The Washington Post National Weekly, the racist legacy many birds carry. Birds grapple with complicated past linked to slavery, white supremacy. Who the fuck, like, bro, you gotta be on some heavy amounts of copium to try and bring up slavery with a goddamn bird. It's a bird.
Birds carry. Rip Bozo. Rip fucking Bozo. I love to see this. Bird racism is no joke. He hates bluebirds. He's a red bird. There's nothing red birds hate more than bluebirds.
Well, Nintendo does suck. Nintendo sucks wieners because their shit's too expensive and they lock your console.
Yep, there it is. If your position at the Washington Post was recently eliminated, please consider applying to write for the Babylon Bee. We are seeking applicants experienced in writing fictional content presented in the tone and style of a legitimate news organization. True. And learn the code. Yep. Jada Yuan, laid off writer from the Washington Post style section, gets ratioed for not keeping up on current events and missing the joke. Needs to go back to the Quality Learning Center. As soon as you learn to spell, man. Man. How about that? That's sad. Let me see who this is. Jadabird? Who's this bitch? I'm gonna pull this up. Saying murder for? Wait, what?
I literally just wrote 4,000 words on the murder at Washington Post. Oh, that's crazy. So, you mean to tell me that these people are using the word murder to represent layoffs? See, this is the kind of shit that a lot of people are talking about with politics. You can't, like, using murder interchangeably with layoffs is disgusting. And that's so misleading, too.
What the hell are you saying murder for? Oh my god. This is so extreme.
It is.
Wow. Talking about a murder with all, oh, these are all the people that are getting laid off. Here we go. Kyle Goon.
I mean, you can stand out there all you want. The thing is that your job's gone. You don't have a job anymore. Instead of standing out in front of the Washington Post, maybe you should go get a new job. I wonder why they could possibly be standing outside of the Washington Post instead of trying to get a new job. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that they know that nobody else is going to hire them. Sitting there fucking writing articles about a fucking racist bird.
Don't they have anything to do?
No, not anymore.
Damn, they just sitting
They can't write another article about racist birds linked to slavery because, you know, they don't have a job anymore.
Sucks to suck. Exactly, yep. Post sports for life. Well, not anymore. Is this the best you can do, Jeff? I don't think it is. I think he can fire even more people. I think he can. Honestly, I feel like Jeff really hasn't even reached his final form. You know, I see this, and it's like, yeah, I feel like only a third? That's it? What are we talking about? Not anymore. Yeah, you should be looking for a new job. Yeah, I got a feeling that's not going to happen. The New York Times, Washington
well, like,
Post.
you don't need conventional media because here's the real issue. Here's the real reason why conventional media is dying. It's because a lot of them are being paid to be biased. A lot of them are being paid to censor types of information that shouldn't be censored. Like, I mean, hell, even up to 10 years ago, you had people getting fired who were talking about Pizzagate and getting blacklisted and called conspiracy theorists, even though they were onto something like 10 years ago, and they get absolutely vindicated nowadays. Independent journalists are realizing that you don't really need to rely on something like the New York Post in order to make money. If you're a real independent journalist and you have something that could blow Like, for example, like Nick Shirley, he managed to blow Minneapolis out of the water. He managed to put that bitch on the map. The Eye of Sauron was looking at Minneapolis whenever those videos got posted that Nick Shirley did. Like, they fucked up. They fucked up so bad that Tim Walz isn't even trying to run for re-election. That's what independent journalism should be about right there. You gotta be ready to take the big steps to make big change. Even if it seems small at first, so you gotta do what it takes to make change. That's what journalism is. But whenever you go through the headache and then you write up the story and then it gets censored or thrown out after you've done, like, let's say months of leering, and it gets censored, or you get called a conspiracy theorist and handed something else to do instead, like the link between birds and fucking slavery, well, then you wonder why the hell you're even there. I mean, you're not able to do what you love to do, what you want to do, which is to expose corrupt politicians and criminal police. No, you're being told that you've got to spin some weird narrative. Of course. And nah, dude.
That's it. Will Lewis is too busy to join the call and tell his staff he's destroying the Washington Post sports department.
Where I was going with that is that you have these narratives being spun that are false, or things that nobody wants to fucking care about, being published in your post, and big surprise, you're going out of business because yo bitch ass is lying, and you're not spinning the media that people want to see. People want to see what's going on with ICE in Minneapolis. People want to see what's going on in Iran. What is Trump doing? People want to see that kind of stuff. People want to see corrupt politicians get taken down like what Nick Shirley did. That's what people want to see. Nobody gives a fuck about this diversity shit. No one ever did. It was the only thing that they would publish. So of course people were forced to read it until they stopped. And that's the issue, is that they had this mindset like these games did for the longest time, that if you publish it, they will come. Well, guess what, bitch ass? Now you're going out of business. Congratulations. You found out the hard way. You fucked around and you found out, and now you're having to lay off staff. Remember, bitch, it was the one thing Sam Walton got right. The customer's always right. Cater to your customer and you stay in business.
But he did have time to walk on the red carpet NFL honors in San Francisco. Amazing. Wow, I wonder why. That's crazy. What a big surprise. So anyway, this is what it is. And they're all retweeting each other, trying to complain about this. But there is nothing I love more than seeing these journalists be put out of a job.
They put the gun on him. What's the reason? What's the reason?
You see that? You see how quick these people snap whenever they start getting pushed back? It's the whole reason why they sitting there attacking ICE agents or federal agents and sitting there trying to push the police back, is because, like, they know that if they just stand on the sidewalk and have their little protesty signs, nothing's going to change. That's why. They know that if they were to push and be more violent and nothing's done about it in their community, they're going to get more radical and more violent. But the minute you start pushing them back, you see how quick they are to snap? It's because they know they're losing.
What's the reason? What's the reason?
They tried to kill me. They had 8 guns on me. They ran into me. They tried to kill me.
You know, last time I checked, if someone was trying to kill you and they had 8 guns on you, you'd probably be dead. I mean, I feel like Peretti found that out. You know, like if you've got people with like guns all over you and they're trying to kill you, well, they would just shoot you, would they not? I mean, that's.
Right now because I need an incident commander. I'm the citizen I'm requesting.
You even know what an incident commander is, bitch? That is not what an incident commander is. You don't. An incident commander is for like. It's mostly for the fire department. Like, an incident commander is like a military/fire department thing. Like, you're not really going to have an incident commander in the police. You can have a supervisor, sure. But, like, for example, like because the only reason I know this is because I was a firefighter, is like if you have the apparatus driver and and it's me as a fireman and another fireman and then the captain in the, you know, the passenger seat, right? And up front. The incident commander is going to be the apparatus driver because the First fireman's going to get dropped to hook up the fire hydrant. I'm going to get out with my captain, and we're going to go and fight the fire. So the incident commander, by nature, is going to be the apparatus driver. So if you get a mayday on the inside of a building, that apparatus driver is going to be like, we have a mayday, send in extra units. We need units here now. We need everything. Send, no stop, send it all. And then you're going to have like 7 fire teams show up, and they're going to tear that fucking building apart. But like, you're not going to have an incident commander at a police scene. That's not, no.
You have a thing. I don't want to lose.
What the hell is she doing?
Can you please use your thing? I would like an incident commander. Can you please call one?
Okay, we have 2 officers that are more senior.
So why you guys
She looks like a sushi roll contender. Yeah, I don't know if she'd fit.
taking him for? Who is that incident commander? Okay. Who is the incident?
He's talking about this new wrap that they have for these protesters where, like, you lay them on the tarp and then you roll them up. That's it, dude. It's the funniest thing.
Taking him. I'm telling you this is okay. Why are you taking him? I've been seeing you guys all the way back there.
Yeah, they know they've been
So why are you taking him? What's the reason for his arrest?
Listen to this.
He saw us trying to do our investigation, and there's days that he put targets saying to kill me on Facebook. That's him. And the moment he saw it was me, he tried to hit me with the car. So just when he hit me.
So he went
There it is.
to try. So basically, he's been fucking with you for days. He said for people to kill you, and then whenever he saw you, he tried to hit you with a car. Damn, that's too bad. And you telling me we rounded his fat ass up? I love it. Yep.
I was behind you guys. I was.
And then they trying to lie.
What's the reason?
Yeah, and they're defending him. They are. They would defend him doing it. If he hit her with the car, they'd say it was okay. That's the reason why.
Don't worry, we gonna talk about the whole, like, dehumanizing post. Don't worry about it. I know what meme you're talking about. We're gonna talk about how anyone who actually thinks that was on purpose is retarded. Don't worry. That's next.
You're brown?
Yeah, like, it's crazy because now the people that are protesting are calling the ICE agents like the N-word, or like they're actually using like racial slurs against them now. It's crazy that the ICE agents are more diverse than the protesters themselves. I never thought I'd hear the day of white people standing or sitting in cars or like recording ICE agents calling them the N-word, dude. I never thought I'd see that day. Like,
Oh my god. Is it the same cop?
Is it? Is it the same dude?
They need to give this guy, like, fucking a bonus or something. They do. Like, this guy is going around being called the N-word by a bunch of white people because he's deporting people out of America.
Yep.
Like, I mean, we gotta help this guy out or something.
I know, right? Yo,
Yeah.
I heard they make like $200,000 a year. I heard these ICE agents make a lot of money, bro. And they not only make a lot of money, but on top of that, they also get a student loan help too. They get like a percentage of their student loan paid.
I mean, this is ridiculous. What the fuck is going on here?
They make money, bro.
What? Look at me. Look at, oh, good job, dude. Real dude, and you're brown. You're not white, you're brown. You know that, right? You look in the mirror, see a white person? Fuck you. You're brown. Fuck you.
We've come full circle. We have. They're so crazy. They're so radicalized that they're actually racist. That's crazy.
What is wrong with these people?
Remember, though, ICE is supposed to be the racist one. The reason why they're doing this is because they're losing. Like, there's like nobody here. There's nobody here. You've got a couple cars stopped. You got this fucking dude screaming, "You're brown" at a black dude. You've got like maybe like at the most 10, 15 people here. And all of them aren't really stopping or preventing them from moving. It's because the police have been enforcing the law in Minneapolis. That's why. people are scared to go out and commit crimes now. And now, whenever you impede in an official like a federal investigation, they scan your face and you get put on like this list that classifies you as a domestic terrorist, and it makes you a fly risk, so you can't get on planes.
You're brown. Oh my God. Is this is this the new KKK?
Honestly.
I really like, I mean, what does that mean? What he means is that he thinks that black people should have solidarity with illegal alien Mexicans and Guatemalans and Venezuelans and people from Africa. He thinks they should have solidarity because they have a similar skin tone. Yeah. They should agree with each other and work with each other because they have the same skin tone. Now, I don't know who's going to tell him, but inside of Africa, the black people in Africa hate each other.
Well, that's the whole reason why the Somalians came into Minneapolis. You realize that that Ilhan Omar is part of a tribe that is in a blood feud with another tribe, right? And based on that blood feud, she was able to move in more people that were part of her tribe and get them to vote out and keep out the other tribe in America. So that way they could skim off the top, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly until there's any actual charges, which there may never be, unfortunately. Fraud Americans of their money and send it to their tribe so that way they can fund not only themselves, but a terrorist organization and keep them suppressed. That's the whole reason why this happened in Minneapolis. And then so what makes it unconstitutional is whenever you have videos and snippets of Ilhan Omar getting in front of a mic and saying you want to vote for us in her language because we're going to make sure that more of our people get in and stay in and less of their people get in and stay out. That's what makes it racist. It's vote for me. I'm going to get, I'm part of your clan. Vote for me. And that's where it becomes very problematic.
Levels of racism between Kenyans and Somalians that you're not even aware of. There's levels of racism inside of Somalia based off of clans that you haven't even heard of.
Well, it's like the Hutu and the Tutsis in the Hotel Rwanda. If you've ever seen that movie, you would understand exactly what's going on here.
This guy, he doesn't even understand how deep this goes. This is meta racism. He actually thinks, bro.
And Hotel Rwanda was based on a real genocide that happened. I'm not sure where it was at, but it's based on a real genocide.
He literally thinks that racism ends at skin color. What the hell do you think we did World War I for? We had to come up with something. Fuck. Like, these people were so stupid.
That's what I said. That's why it's called Hotel Rwanda. Oh, is it in Rwanda? No, but like, where's it at? Like, I know that is Rwanda in Africa? I feel like that's kind of racist to say. Where was the Rwanda genocide? Central Africa.
What? Look at me. Look at, oh, good job, dude. Real dude, and you're brown. You're not white, you're brown. You know that, right? You look in the mirror, see a
And to that comment of like, there was, oh, but Ice Ages have been unbiasedly dragging people out of the car, then why aren't there any videos of it? Like, why aren't there any videos? If that's the case, then instead of complaining, maybe they should be suing the federal government and collecting that paycheck.
person. No, you're not white, you're brown. You know that, right? You look in the mirror, see
If I get dragged out of my car and I'm just driving, and I'm minding my own business, and I start getting dragged out of my car by some random people, and it come to find out they're federal officials, I'm about to collect me a big old, I don't give a fuck about the internet. Boys, I'm going to disappear. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone for at least a couple months. I'm going to come back and be like, boys, we got paid.
Fuck you. You're brown.
Shit.
If you look,
You think I'm going to get online and try to try to fuck with that, I'm gonna stay silent about it. I'm gonna collect my background stuff, sue the shit out of them, and collect that paycheck.
White person, fuck you, you're brown.
Fuck you!
Oh my god. What a fucking idiot, man. Racist protesters? I don't understand how these people turned into the KKK. And yeah, he got, bro, rolling up on him in the Subaru.
Why do all these people have... Why do all these people have SUVs? How?
Like rolling up on a bunch of black people and yelling at them in your Subaru. Man. Man. Those are the days, right, boys? Yelling at black people, calling them the N-word. Oh my God. And Democrats already KKK? Yeah, it's really impressive for me to see this. Seth Rogen fell off? Yeah. And as a self-declared sane person, I declare these people are wingnuts. They taint the Subaru brand, I know. And really, it's weird as hell what these people are doing, isn't it? These people are always racist. The mask is just coming off now. Well, I think that what's really being revealed by these people is the fact that with a lot of them, they actually are racist. Like, they are legitimately racist, but they are not the same kind of racist that they think other racists are. So they think that because they are a different type of racist, that they're not racist. But they're actually just another type of racist. That's it. They want a law and they're going, yeah, exactly. They're racist and stupid. Well, what I'm saying is that their version, like, they're also advocating for racist racial policies and racial identity and racial politics. But they're doing it in a way that they think is a morally good way. So for them, racism is a good thing. It's kind of like the it's like the horseshoe theory, basically. Play the video of the New York City chick saying black people don't know what a computer are.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California, to find out if voter ID laws suppress...
Bro, we need voter ID so bad. Voter ID is gonna make it to where these fucking illegals can't fucking vote. It's gonna be great.
the black vote.
But you know, it's kind of crazy because even if, and hear me out, even if voter ID is implemented, the states that have all these illegals flooding them have already pre-planned for this. Why do you think LA has all these illegal immigrant truck drivers driving around getting people killed? Why do you think Minneapolis, there's videos of Tim Walz passing a bill that will allow people of any nationality, and even if they're illegals, to get an ID? So it's interesting that they've already pre-planned for this. It just hasn't happened yet. It needs to, though.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
How is requiring somebody to get an ID racist? I've never understood that argument. I've heard that a lot. It's like, how the fuck is that racist?
Voter ID laws are...
Everyone has an ID, do you not? I mean, if you're too retarded to get an ID, then maybe you shouldn't be voting on things that are going to affect everyone's lives. Like, seriously.
Racism. Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it's suppressing the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been
exactly.
described or required.
Like, why wouldn't you want voter ID? Every state should have voter ID. Like, that should be a federal law by now.
These type of people don't live in areas which
The only racist people I see are the ones saying that it's racist to have voter ID. Well, because they're black, they don't know how to get an ID, bro? You do realize that a DMV is usually going to be in a rural area, and you know why that is? It's because if you have a DMV, you're going to have people from all walks of life go into that DMV to get their license. You're going to have criminals, you're going to have normal people, you're going to have teens, you're going to have literally all walks of life, every nationality, every race, every religion going to the DMV. You think they're going to put that shit next to a rich neighborhood? No. I guarantee you, more people of a diverse color and poor people know where a DMV is located in their neighborhood or their general area than most of the people that this guy is talking to at this university.
The access to
This looks like a
DMVs or
university.
other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs. You do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to
So
pay
what? I guess black people don't have access to the internet. But remember, voter ID is the racist one.
an internet.
You see,
It's so that's such an ignorant view. Like, what the fuck?
person can't.
Dude, gaming. Oh, dude, you're retarded. Bye. Enjoy your permaban. Time for the calling. And you're this dumb 1985, and you're this dumb. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. 1985. This is Peck. And, there are plenty of satellite DMV. This is in. I live some places, or specifically. You can do so much online. Yeah, you could really do a lot online now. I do like that you can do a lot. Okay, bye. Kimberly, where you don't need... Have you ever noticed that it's... Yeah, I know. No, like every argument that I've seen from a lot of this stuff has always been white people. Just like all the protesters in Minneapolis. I don't get it.
Know what the word computer is.
Like, if you think that if all these people really feel the way they feel, they'd be out there protesting it for themselves. But the thing is that a lot of the diverse groups see what's going on because a lot of these groups, a lot of these illegals flood the diverse areas and they take jobs away. That's why you see all these white people that most likely live privileged lives down in Minneapolis in their SUVs. They'll look brand fucking new, protesting and calling people of other color brown because they're too pussyfooted around to say the N-word like a lot of the other protesters I've seen. It's sad.
Difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet.
Oh, is he going to look up the video? There was this video because a senator had said that, something about black people and the internet, and this dude made a video where he threw a laptop on the floor and he started dancing around it like a monkey. That's funny as shit. Yeah, here you go. See, this is like whenever I think of racism, I think of this mentality.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know these things. And I want the world to open up to all of them because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions to technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is.
Service provider for certain.
In particular?
Yeah, you have to have access.
Man, you know that if you're a white person that thinks that black people don't have access to the internet or know what laptops and shit are, bro, the amount of, like, when was the last time you saw a black person in your community or just in general? I'm so concerned.
You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for a certain fee.
Do you think that's harder for black people?
What the fuck's wrong with them?
Exactly!
You want to know the reason why they do this? I'm not explaining the reason why they do this. It's because these are white people that live in gated communities around other white people. They don't interact with any black people.
Yo, I feel so vindicated right now.
That's the real reason. Is that they don't know any black people. They don't interact with them. They don't have anything to do with them.
Yo, some of my best friends have been black people. I ain't even joking, bro. Whenever you look at someone's skin color, you fucked up from the start. That's the problem.
So they only know what the media tells them.
To go online.
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works. A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data. For most of the communities, they don't really
They have
know
smartphones, but they might not have data.
what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed. I also
These
think
are the people that are down in Minneapolis protesting. Boys, this is our future generation of lobotomites.
a repression of black voting with how they.
And the sad part is is that these people are gonna go to college, waste hundreds of thousands of dollars of somebody else's money because they're Nepo babies, and get a job where they work with their family, and they're never gonna understand what it's like to make a resume and have to go out there and walk from location to location because they don't have enough money to get a car. You know why? Because someone in their family has already bought and paid for them to have a brand new car. That's why.
If you're a convicted felon, like, you're not allowed to.
So I guess every black person's a convicted felon now. That's interesting. You think this is a skit? This is real. This is a real dude that walked around a campus.
Guys. I'm telling you guys, this is where we're at.
Voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here.
Well, you see, like, so black people commit a bunch of crime, and in Florida, oh man, they commit a crazy amount of crime. Is that right?
Jesus
wow.
Christ, man.
In East Harlem to ask.
So
So this is the black side. This is the black people. This is their community, right?
Wow.
Just heard. Yes, I do. Do you know anybody who
Yeah, I remember I saw this first time. I said she thinks it's funny. It's such a stupid fucking question.
Well, it's such a stupid ass question. You wouldn't think that, like, genuinely, like, whenever I saw this video for the first time, I was like, is this real? Like, no one really thinks this, right? And then it hits you that they do. They actually think this.
ID, of course. And here's the thing, too.
You can vote as a felon. Not a lot of people know that. And in a lot of the states, you can still vote as a felon. You just have to once you serve your time, you can go to the voting booth and vote. Like, that's another misconception. In some states, you can vote as a felon.
I grew up with a lot of people, multi-racial, told him, and your boy grew, really, that's because I have that's and have a reason that good.
No has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
Why would it?
That's a lie.
Why
would you say that?
Why would they say that? You know why they would say that.
I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like,
Big surprise that everybody in the country is pretty much the same unless you're a fucking racist fucking Nepo baby that lives in a gated community.
one of the things you need to walk around with New York with.
There you go. Look at that.
Duh.
ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes.
I would say that out of my anecdotal evidence, okay, I do have a friend that's Mexican that doesn't have an ID. This is a whole thing does. I feel, but still.
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street.
Oh, they know exactly where that bitch is at, too. They don't even have to look at it. They just know where it's at. What I say earlier.
Funnier about this is that the DMV is usually in an urban area, and usually inner city urban areas are where, listen, it's we're all talking plain English. It's where a lot of black people are.
And you know why? Because a solid majority of them are hardworking Americans that don't really give a shit about these racial politics anymore. Because they all see what a lot of the people that have a brain cell see, that all these illegals are taking up jobs and fucking the country into a hole. And that's what their concern is right now, just like everybody else.
Like
that has a brain cell.
My area is like 90% Hispanic.
Yeah. That's how it is whenever I go to the DMV too. Around here.
Almost no white people near my DMV.
Mm-hmm.
So the irony here is that they don't even realize that by selection bias, black people would be more likely, Hispanics would be more likely to know where the DMV is. Just by the way that they're usually placed in different cities.
Yeah, they're not going to put a DMV in a rich white neighborhood that's walled off. You're not going to see that.
Do you think they're going to place the DMV next to a fucking gated community?
No.
No.
Absolutely
you know why?
not.
It's because the homeowners association of that gated community doesn't want the DMV there because every single person, every dreg of society has to get an ID at the DMV. That means that you're going to have crackheads, problem boys, drug dealers, and retards going to the DMV. And do you think that they want that next to the Hamptons? Do you think they want that at Martha's Vineyard? Fuck no. They want that out in the projects. They want that out in the working class neighborhoods. That's the way it is.
That's exactly how it is, too. That's exactly the way it is.
The more that you talk about this, the more ridiculous it is.
Yeah. No, like, that's what most of the arguments that these people have. Like, the more you talk about it and you think about how retarded what these people are saying is, it really kind of sinks in of, like, how do you convince yourself that this is what you think it is? It's crazy. Let's see. Here we go. So this is the meme that is going around, and this is retarded because it's clear that whoever fucking posted this should get fired. Because it's clear that it was an accident.
So Donald Trump went.
Hold on. And what makes this an accident is because
I don't really know exactly what this is. Let's see. Where's it at? I ain't seeing it.
this was part of another video where it talked about the ballots that had the North or the Korean, I don't know if it's North or South, that had the chips from Korea on it.
Seen it.
And it was at the end, and you could clearly see the guy scrolling up and then scrolling back down because it was an accident.
Okay, Trump shares and deletes an AI video depicting Obama's as apes. Okay, this is all right. Here we go.
So when the vote,
See, this is the original video that it was part of.
Counting, and this has been
someone obviously fucked up during editing
in other countries as well. President Trump was significantly ahead when reporting and
they said stop the count.
Counting resumed. There was a massive spike occurred that.
This is all allegations that a Korean. It may not even been Korea. It could have been a Korean-made chip that was set in the ballot booth that caused this, where like they paused the voting and gave the spike to Biden so he could win. This is all allegation. This is not yet confirmed, but it's obvious that it was a mistake. But we'll let the video play out and you can see. And then that happened. Yeah, you see, obviously it was a fucking mistake. And, you know, it's obviously a mistake. Whoever edited this video fucked up.
Why? What the fuck? Yeah, somebody just fucked up. Very clearly, he was not trying to post a video depicting Barack and Michelle Obama.
I mean, if he was, he would have just posted the whole thing. Why would he stop there? You know?
As apes, right? This was a screen recording of another video, and then the swipe happened.
But I guarantee you, he went back to that video afterwards and liked it.
They didn't edit the swipe out. It doesn't even make sense, right? It's not like any of the rest of it was an AI video. Obama doesn't have anything to do with it. Because you can see, really, like right here.
It's an accident.
You can see, like, this is a swipe.
Yeah.
And so the video ended, and the
if he wanted that to be there, he would have just left it there and let the full video play, but he didn't. Whoever did this video swiped up again to get that off the screen because they fucked up.
Began. It was a Twitter autoplay, and he swiped back. Yeah, he even swiped back.
Oh, he did swipe back. He swiped back to the video, so it was an autoplay. So he didn't even swipe. It just autoplayed the next video in the section. Okay, well, there you go.
Got super fired. It makes him look like a dumbass, right?
Yeah, no, whoever edited this video and posted it or published it on the Trump channel, because you know there's no way that he actually edits his own shit and posts it, right? I guarantee you he's got somebody posting shit there. They need to get fired for sure.
It's all over the all page. Oh, is it on Reddit? I bet it is. Every single Republican must announce this now. I mean, what are we doing here? It's pretty obvious.
And the best thing that Trump can do is just ignore it. It's no different than the Nazi salute that everyone was trying to say that fucking Elon Musk did. It's retarded. This is
mistake,
retarded.
right?
This is
obvious that,
stupid.
That wasn't what he meant to post. They out there calling ICE agents the N-word and they get offended by this? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Seriously.
You gotta keep in mind, too, the people that want him to apologize don't...
They don't care. They don't give a fuck. They just want to feel vindicated for something because they're taking fat L's all across the board. I wouldn't even, like, if I was Trump, I wouldn't even give this the time of day. Straight up. I can't tell you how many protests I've seen of them calling ICE agents the N-word or like racial slur. It's so fucking retarded. It's so stupid.
Care. It's not like
it's no different than, well, if you care so much about the Epstein files, then why do you want racist, rapist, child molesting pedos running around in your street? It's no different. It's literally no different. Oh, but this racist thing, yeah, but you guys are down there in Minneapolis, like, cheering on people that are actively calling black ICE agents the N-word. Well, like,
about
come on.
Donald Trump is going to change after he apologizes. They're calling on him to apologize.
Why
for this,
would he?
So the people that call him a racist can keep calling him a racist?
Exactly.
If you think you did something wrong, then you should apologize. But never, ever have people guilt you or push you into an apology.
Social media posts.
That's right. That's right. Let me tell you guys something. Whenever I worked at the fire department, I've told this story once before and I'll tell it again. I was part of a department that would force hours. Like, the schedule is supposed to be 2 days off, 1 day on. But whenever I got hired, they said that they force some hours. Some, right? Hours meaning a day. Meaning you have to work 2 days on, 1 day off, and then you get a day off. But that's not what was going on. What they were doing is they were forcing us to work 48 on, have 1 day off, but like it's 45 minutes away from where I lived at the time. So like I had to drive. I would drive 45 minutes. I would have less than 24 hours off because I would have to get up at like 4 a.m. the next morning, get dressed and go in because ours started at 6 a.m. And you want to get there early for shift change because that's what they do at a fire department. You get there early so that way you can get your shit set up so that way the guys that are there can take off because they've been there all night. So then it would be 48 on, less than 24 off, and then another 48 on. And they decided that for whatever reason, they waited the day before, and I had already worked Thanksgiving and the day before Thanksgiving, and then they were trying to make me work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and they can't keep people they couldn't keep people at the station because of this work schedule. That's the main thing I'm trying to say, is that people kept quitting because of how they would force hours and how often they would force hours. They waited until 2 days before my day off on Christmas Eve. I was like, fine, I'll work Christmas Day. And then they changed it to where I work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And it would have been fine if it was like, oh, well, he's the greenhorn. You know, that's just normal, but it's not. They were forcing so many hours, they were going to make the chiefs ride down as captains and the captains ride down as firemen. And it's like, you're making people that actually went to college, got master's degrees in what they do, making $200,000-$300,000 a year to ride down as a captain. Your system is fucked. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's fucked. And I fucking stood up and I laid into the chief at the time. I stood up in front of everyone because everyone felt the same. Everyone was like, why the fuck are they forcing all these fucking hours? Just change the schedule. Make it a 24, or it was like a 48-96 where you work 2 days on and you get off 4 days consecutively. Why not switch to that? You'd have way more people trying to join. And the thing is like, nobody wanted to sit there because, like, other than that, dude, I love that job. But the issue is, as I stood up to the captain, right, or the chief at the time, and then I got sat down and talked to about it, and I apologized to the chief because I even said, like, I loved that dude. He was awesome. I had no problem with him. And I was like, yeah, I apologize for that. I did not once apologize for the jackass that made the schedules. Not once did I. And he looked at me and he knew I wasn't going to. And then 2 weeks later, I quit. I was like, I'm done. And they're lucky that I did that because everyone else that I got hired with, they hired 6 people. And within the first month, it was me and one other person that was left. Didn't even last a full month and everyone else quit. And these were other firefighters that had been hired at other positions at other fire departments that had already quit. And it's like, yeah, I'll apologize for acting that way towards him because I like him, but I don't like you. Nobody likes you, dude. There were other captains that were telling me that you say the reason why you quit is because of him. Straight up. They were stopping me in the hallway and they're like, you say the reason why you quit was because of him and they'll understand. And I said, okay. Like 3 or 4 other captains told me that. And I was like, damn, bro.
That you took down earlier today.
But don't apologize for something you don't feel like you did wrong. I felt like I wronged that chief because he's a really nice guy. He's always nice, bro. I have never had a problem with him. He's always been honest. Anything that he tells us to do, he was always like, we're going to do it for this reason. And it's always like, okay, cool. You know, that actually makes sense. But it just pissed me off at the time. And I was like, nope. And they gave me that day off, by the way. It was great. They gave me that day off, and then they brought me into the office afterwards. They're like, we had to shut down one of the ladder trucks because of you. And I'm like, no, you had to shut down one of the ladder trucks because your schedule sucks so bad that you can't keep people. That's why you had to close the ladder truck down. Bro, he gave me the fucking stank eye when I said that. Woo! He gave me the stank eye.
A staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on the Lion King, and we took it down. And we took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things.
But yeah, like don't even at a job, if you don't feel like you did anything wrong, like at a certain point, you have to stand up for what you think is morally right, and that shit's just wrong, man. Straight up. Let's see. Here we go. We'll do this one. Check out Decoy W Decoy. Hell yeah, Decoy. Love this dude. He's awesome. I do miss his old name, but
we are finally in the find out stage as one.
It's such a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing for these people to get locked up now. That's what I said whenever all this shit started. I was like, you know that they're only really biding their time until the local police start getting involved, and then all the people that were causing problems are going to start getting arrested. They're going to start sending out warrants for all the people that were throwing shit at ICE agents or getting, like, impeding their investigation and shit.
160 of these anti-ICE activists
Woo!
have been arrested, with some of
It's a damn good day to be an American.
them even facing 2 decades of federal prison.
Ooh! Oh, 20 years in prison. Oh, fuck, bro. Damn.
As this very unique
Shouldn't have done it.
and
You
easy
shouldn't have
to
done it.
identify individual
You don't have to like ICE. Sure. Hate them. I don't care. You can't throw fucking bricks at people, bro.
comfortable threatening the feds.
My name is Kyle. I'm
Oh,
a
yeah, this
Antifa,
Antifa
and there's
freak.
So much rage in me that I've had to record this. Like, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Show up. Ready to go. Okay? Not talking about peaceful protests anymore. Get your f***ing gun.
Like, there's a picture of this dude dressed up as like a woman. You want to follow somebody and throw your body on the line for somebody who doesn't even know what gender they are? Like, come on, guys.
And stop.
Like, this person's angry at themselves. Of course, they're going to be angry at everyone else around them.
People.
Then went into hiding.
Yep.
Basically on the run now.
Shouldn't have done it.
You know, I have safe places and I have evacuations planned out, but as I've said a million times, I'm going to stay in this fight to the bitter end. I'm not going
Hey, you fucked up. If you got the federal government on your ass, that means that there's no state that you're going to run to that they're not going to eventually find you in.
But I will need some help.
And when a video went viral of the police shattering a doorway to gain entry,
There it
they
is.
were actually arresting that self-proclaimed Antifa idiot. As
Like, and then on top of that, Trump made Antifa like a terrorism group. Why would you actively go around saying you're Antifa? You're crazy, bro. Call it something else. I don't know. Call it anti-ICE or some shit. I don't know. Don't use the abbreviation of Antifa. It's a bad idea.
Took his threats very seriously.
Obviously.
Deploying like 20 Homeland Security agents, looking like they unlocked all the DLC. And as Kyle was looking incredibly angry, he thought he'd be tough, spitting at us. Only for Homeland Security to announce he's being charged with impending and retaliating against the feds, threatening to injure their family, interstate domestic violence, conspiracy to impede or injure an officer, and solicitation to commit violence. And when you add up all the charges, it looks like he could be facing 2 decades behind bars. But more realistically, with a plea, could get down to 6 years in prison. Imagine getting incarcerated longer than the current liberal thing they're angry over, as all the same anti-ICE activists were just marching for Free Palestine, stand with Ukraine.
That's right. You're right.
Medicine to
Wants people to get grounds on the boots, but it's kind of like Tim Wall saying, not saying that the federal agents are police. You do realize that an ICE officer can arrest a police officer if they if they commit a felony in front of them, right? Like they're above the state government. It's stupid. It's just a retarded. You want people to go and throw their bodies on the line, yet you sit behind your own walled off house and talk about how good everyone's. It's like, dude, at least Ilhan Omar was down there protesting. She actually got arrested.
Spread. Then my body, my choice. Defund the police. Anti-gun to finally pro-gun. But none of it ever lasts longer than 2 years with them. It's the equivalency of getting out of prison today for rioting over the Me Too movement. But for far too long, these idiots became comfortable broadcasting their crimes on TikTok.
And that's the real reason why they're doing this. Is because during Black Lives Matter, the BLM riots, they didn't stop it. They didn't crack down on this. That's why they're all flocking to Minneapolis. And here's the kicker, is that if they don't crack down on Minneapolis, they're going to do this everywhere. That's why you're starting to see all these kids marching out into the streets, because these teachers are leading them out there. They need to, like, that's what I've been saying this whole time. You realize that if Trump had just cracked down and called in the Insurrection Act, 2 people would be alive? I think that this is because of Trump's limp dick behavior. Bro needs to take that Viagra and fucking start stiffing everybody, straight up. 2 people are dead because he didn't push the federal government the way it should be. If he had used the Insurrection Act and told all the police to go on, get the fuck out, and then use the military to work as acting law enforcement and crack down on this like you've never seen anybody crack down on anything before, you would have seen a 180 and 2 people would be alive.
Completely oblivious to how
It's
these
disgusting,
are serious
like-
felonies, because the Democrats essentially use them as their brown shirts. But now, the Trump administration brings the hammer down, with DHS posting several instances of this, including one familiar face to social media, who was best known as the relationship anarchist.
Here we are at my official dating profile request. I am 42. Actually, I'm almost 42. I am a relationship anarchist. I am on the lookout for somebody who, right now, I'd be able to call and say, hey, get in the...
It's time for you love capitalism. How's it working out for you? Paid, that's why it's happening. Yeah, I think that they are paid protesters. Other countries got over COVID faster because they got vaccinated, comply with feds. To your superiors, glorious Trump. I feel like this is sarcasm of them are being paid, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. So you believe you would be one of the, hold on, wait a minute. Doing it now. Guy has said Trump isn't fascist enough. Checking these guys. Right. Take down his name. Puppet. Now Trump needs to push more and get the puppet. Lead us to victory, Tara. You believe since Electric Boogie 2, I don't know if more government is the move. Do these good of guy who starts a fight and holds. Here is doing that. Yeah, they're right. Corporations run everything.
Passenger seat. And let's go up. If you're not afraid of a woman who can speak her mind, if you're interested in sitting in a side seat, message me.
As she later allegedly followed and crashed into a federal agent's vehicle, which is sad, as aimless loneliness used to just result in cats, but has now been harnessed.
I can't stand this mindset of these people comparing ICE to the Nazis and Gestapo. You do realize that if ICE agents were anything like that, they wouldn't be arresting people, they would be executing them in the streets. And any protesters, they would just mow them down. It'd be a lot like what Iran looks like right now. But I don't see anybody ever complaining about what's going on in Iran, the actual genocide. Like, their government is literally killing people in the thousands, but you want to sit here and call agents that are actively deporting illegals that are trying to clean up the streets or as comparable to that. It's just I just don't get
violent
that, dude.
activism, as protests have somehow become daycare for unemployed adults with more emotion.
That's right. Look at that.
And information. But finally, Father law enforcement is saying it's bedtime. As even in deep blue Minneapolis, their police are making heavy-handed arrests.
Oh, gotcha, bitch! You're going to jail. Going to jail. Going in the box now.
If you were this fragile, you wouldn't attempt to fight fascists. But that's just what happens when you don't mean a single thing you're shouting.
Exactly.
If they think throwing fits can defeat fascism, getting arrested is just part of their play pattern. But at least they're saving the taxpayer money, showing up to protests pre-shackled.
If you really care about your students, show up and come out. If you really care about your students, show up and come out.
ICE! ICE out! ICE! ICE out! ICE! ICE out! ICE! ICE out!
It's insane how all these anti-borders and walls activists always seem to immediately erect borders and walls. You would think they would learn about irony, paying over $50,000 annually to go to university.
There's a lot of morons in chat today. So refute my statement. Thoughts on Epstein files. They're bad. Thoughts on all the illegal immigrant rapists that are being deported. Is that worth $3,500 a month? To some, it is. I'm not a puppet. Every sitting president minus JFK, yes, who released the Epstein files. You know, that's true. If Trump wouldn't have kept his foot out of his mouth when he was campaigning about the Epstein files, you do realize that we would actually not have the Epstein files. Even as redacted as they are, we wouldn't even have that. I didn't see anybody bitching about that shit whenever Biden was in office. Why y'all only using that shit as a political tool? What about all the illegal, violent, rapist immigrants that are diddling kids in the streets that ICE is trying to get up? What about them? Every sitting president, city water. ICE is a modern day Gestapo. Why are Well, you're gonna get removed. And ICE was there with JD Vance. It's interesting how you should actually use that as an example. How is it that you have ICE protesters at the Winter Olympics that have signs already made when they just recently saw an ICE agent? You got all these people with all these signs. That doesn't raise any red flags to the mentally retarded people. Oh, well, we saw them a couple hours ago. Now we've got all these people with all of these nice signs that we clearly made within the past, like, couple hours that say fuck ICE and all this other propaganda shit on it. That doesn't raise any red flags. How are they able to get out there so damn quick?
University, but then again, attending class
in a foreign country, come on.
As bike locking yourself to a staircase. Now, it's one thing when these universities, like Columbia and NYC, has mass protests. But now, even high schools in Seattle are having mass walkouts, where the students fight ICE.
I think it is a paid insurrection. I do.
City. And over in Portland, it's essentially a street takeover, where...
Well, like, you realize that there are new documents coming out that are showing the campaign manager for Tim Walz is being paid to rally together these people? That's what's coming out now.
Clash with the residents.
There's like a paper trail for it. Mm-hmm.
It's one thing when the EBT tribes clash with the adults with actual responsibilities, but it's important to notice this was the only instance of school protesting that I saw with a semblance of security, as the massive walkouts in Los Angeles resulted in incredible danger to the students.
This is a planned protest.
That's so fucking retarded. You got them kids down there, bro.
Students walking out from various high schools at around 10 a.m. this morning, and then they are all expected to be gathered outside of City Hall by 12:30 this afternoon. And from here, they're actually going to march over to the federal detention area where they will rally as well.
And at one point in time, they thought there were rounds being fired.
Look at that. Look at all those fucking kids going in all different directions. Look at that. You see, like, if you're a parent and you see your child in this and not where they're supposed to be, like at school, I would sue the shit out of that school, man. I would sue the piss out of that school. That is their responsibility to keep those kids in those classrooms learning with their 0% math skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, there might be a reason why their math proficiency is 0%.
It was a false alarm, but it doesn't mean they weren't in danger. As last year in LA, at this same exact thing, there was a stabbing, and the fact that this organic protest at specific times and locations for the students to take over makes me think whoever is coordinating this needs to be...
No, the kids aren't being paid. What's happening is that the teachers are allowing the kids to get out, and the fucking kids want to be down there because that's where all their fucking friends are, and they don't want to be in school. Duh? What are you, fucking stupid?
Prison. As over in Nebraska,
what are you, fucking dumb?
Anti-ICE protests resulted in a kid getting hit by a car, as a student's mother blamed the school itself.
Thank you, W parent. W parent.
Making protest materials during class time.
Yep.
Again, proving
you got 0% math scores, but you got the time during your day to fucking make protesting materials, bruh. I wonder why they're able to make protesting materials.
Administrators claim this wasn't an official school activity. I'm willing to bet this is what the faculty...
No, I guarantee you the teachers had something to do with this. Guarantee.
...wanted, as again. The students are never going to stop the enforcement of border laws, but they can be used as useful idiots,
to get themselves gassed and rubber bulleted. Let me tell you something. That's the most beautiful thing about a gas canister is that it doesn't care what religion you are. Doesn't care what race you are, and it damn sure don't care what age you are. Gas canister's gonna do what a gas canister does. It's gonna gas you.
At riots, also the Democrats can cry about the spooky fascist footage. It's sad because these students whether getting arrested, run over, or at the very least, being robbed of an education, or just these.
That's really what's going on here, bro. They getting robbed of an education, and a country is getting robbed of its taxpayer dollars if these kids aren't in school. They are fucking a generation thoroughly in the head by doing this.
To the left is willing to make just to form a gotcha clip against President Trump.
And I ain't even gonna lie, I may not even believe what everything that's going on, but if I was in high school, of course I'd be down there. I'd be down there with all my friends too. I'd be down there setting shit on fire, being a fucking nuisance. Of course, who wouldn't as like a high schooler or like an elementary school, not elementary, but middle. Funny enough, there were elementary students out there. That's the sad part, is that they were being marched out there with their fucking teachers, but
constantly proving they
middle
know
school.
nothing about this movement.
Any of y'all want to say why y'all here today?
Because ICE is freaking stupid, bro. Yeah, bro. Get ICE out. Get ICE out. ICE is supposed to protect our citizens, stop drugs moving from the border. Instead, they're attacking American citizens. That's not what it's here for.
Completely willing to cheer for anything.
All I have to say is that we are in a place that is the place. Yeah! Yeah!
This is the mentality. Boys, this is what 0% math efficiency looks like. They can't logic their ways into anything or out of anything, so this is where we're at now. We don't know why we're here, but we're here. Dadgummit, we're here, aren't we?
When I look at the uncooked salmon, I would love to eat the uncooked salmon!
Bro, this is totally just a bunch of fucking high schoolers fucking around. Yo, I kind of wonder if they're not doing this just to meme. Seriously.
It sounds like a skit, but is actually just a terrifying reminder of how.
Yeah, most of these kids can't even write their own fucking name, yet they out there doing that. That's how I know this is fake. You see these signs? There's no way these kids wrote that. There's no way, dude. They can't write. They don't even know how to spell their own name.
It sounds like a skit, but is actually just.
Doesn't it look like? Yeah, it looks like a fucking skit, right?
Terrifying reminder of how easily manipulated this movement is. Their activist administrators and teachers know this and choose to utilize that mentality to march them in the streets, instead of educating them on the terrifying reality.
Why don't you listen to the 19 minutes of Laken Riley fighting for her life? That for 19 minutes she fought for every breath, fought to survive. How terrified these young women were to be and murdered. How about we educate the children on the last administration? 500,000 children were smuggled in this country. They lost track of 300,000 of them, and President Trump found 145,000 of them. 145,000 children that the last administration wasn't even looking for. Let's talk about that. President Trump saving lives every day. The border's the most secure.
You know what I don't understand is if these people are actual Americans, and you see all these files of, like, you know, they always do like the face, the mugshot of these people, and they have all these crimes on them. I haven't seen anybody debunk any of this. I've seen a lot of fucking mentally retarded people in the streets causing chaos, but for whatever reason, instead of, you know, trying to figure out if instead of trying to figure out if everything that's being said about these people is true or false, they're deciding to just go down and commit violence and then attack anybody that's not, like, on their side at all. Like, even if you're apolitical, you're still going to get attacked, clearly. Instead of trying to figure out if any of these people are not violent criminals, or seeing if maybe the government lied about that. But it seems like the people that are getting arrested and kicked out are actually these criminals. That's the sad part, is this is so fundamentally flawed down to, like, the base level that they're out there protesting and they don't even know what the fuck they're there for at this point. That's the funny part. I have no idea why they're out there, but they're out there. And that is the constant, honestly. Oh, but they're removing white people and citizens out of their cars and arresting them. Okay, well, where are the videos? Oh, by the way, ICE is getting body cams. We don't want body cams! No body cams, no body cams. Oh, why not? Why don't you want body cams? I mean, if they're really doing all this illegal shit, wouldn't you want them to have body cams so that way they can show the entire footage instead of the point where ICE is having to detain somebody for being retarded? Like, wouldn't you want that? So that way, if ICE is actually doing bad shit, then they can be held accountable. Would you not want that? I mean, I want that. Everyone, if you're law enforcement, period, you should have a body cam. Especially whenever you got to handle people in the public. Like, why wouldn't you want them to have body cams? I could think of a few reasons why they wouldn't want them to have body cams. They wouldn't want them to have body cams so that way they can spin whatever narrative they want. Duh.
Less women are being, less people are dying making that journey, and this country's safe again. Let's tell that story.
So when
He's right. In order to cross in some sections of the Mexico border, in order to cross onto the U.S., there is like this patch called, I think it's like the Death Valley or some shit, where you have to have water, and usually the water is almost to the point where it's boiling because of how hot it gets. Like, people die from exhaustion. They get taken out by the elements and the plants and shit that are there, and they end up dying trying to cross the border. But because the border's shut down so tight, people aren't dying trying to cross anymore because they know they're just going to get sent back. So, like, they're actually saving more people by doing this than anything else.
Dying making that journey, and this country's
He's
safe
right.
again. Let's tell that story.
So when the school spends more time teaching them about good and pretty, making signs and marching out in the streets, it's because they don't see your kid as a student, they see them as an insurgent. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription and you'll subscribe to Decoy.
Yeah, no, that I don't see a reason why having a body cam would be bad for ICE agents. I think that would be an amazing thing, because you can find these bad actors, because every form of police or government has bad actors, especially when it comes to law enforcement. It's going to happen. But you need to find these individuals and hold them accountable and keep on with the goal, Just because you've got a few bad actors doesn't mean that the goal's going to stop. That's not how it's going to work, man. That's never how it works. So this falls back onto the conspiracy stuff that I was talking about earlier about, like, Pizzagate, right? How real journalists are being kicked out for doing what they do. But, like, I wonder how many people that worked at the Washington Post or the New York Times came forward with Tim Walz's BS, or the massive amount of fraud that was going on in Minneapolis, but that were fired or kicked out because of them being labeled as conspiracy theorists, or just called crazy and pushed out for finding. I mean, it's kind of hard to think that a lot of the shit that's going on in the Epstein files, it's hard to take in that information because of how deranged it sounds, of them cutting open babies and, like, eating the shit out of their like, that is just fucking crazy. And it's hard to believe that, but whenever you've got so many people trying to talk about it and they keep getting shunned, it's disgusting. And it's an affront to journalism. It is.
Pizzagate. People actually believe a conspiracy theory that Hillary...
Pizzagate was always real.
Would you mind just giving a basic recap
There we
of
go.
what this Pizzagate theory was? These emails...
Because, like, you realize that it's not just the government. There were people from all over the world that were involved in this. We're talking about a ring of the most powerful elite 1% people in the world that have more wealth than all of America combined doing this. This could be Democrat. It's not a red and blue topic. It's a class warfare. It's class warfare. They're trying to keep these lobotomites down in Minneapolis, thinking that everything is chaotic and it's like the Gestapo, so that way they don't see that they've released the Epstein files, and there's a lot of highly political people with a lot of fucking wealth at the top that have all gotten away with this. All of them. That's the crazy part. That's the most insane part about this whole thing.
Get dumped online full of everything that was in John Podesta's life. And John Podesta is a very powerful and connected man. People on the internet then started to notice these strange pizza messages about $40,000 worth of hot dogs being flown to DC for parties, and overt references to children.
That's a lot of hot dogs. That's a lot. Like, there is this one old man that I watch on Instagram Reels who drives around in a car full of hot dogs, drinking and driving, gambling.
So it's okay
and he's
for
great.
those
But, like, that's like a car full of hot dogs, and that's probably only like $50 at the most. I've seen him. I like him.
Yo, welcome from Washington State. Let's go.
Like 7, 8, and 9 will be in the pool, and it'll be heated, and they will be there for. It's like, wait, what are we talking about? This one pizza place in particular, Comet Ping Pong, right in the heart of DC. The Instagram of this pizza shop is full of very disturbing images of children. Things like children.
You know what I want to know? Why haven't all these fucktards and these lobotomites down in Minneapolis not gotten a boat yet and boated over the Epstein Island and tried to figure out what's in those tunnels that are on Epstein Island? Like, straight up. How come that is? How come it is that you don't see these people protesting for Iran, the genocide that's going on over there? How come you don't see these people outside the White House trying to figure out why these files are so heavily redacted? It's because they don't give a shit about any of that. They're trying to push whatever fucking retard narrative the people that are paying them to do wants. It's so fucking obvious. You've literally got like files of a fucking supposedly a former president cutting a baby's legs off, cutting him open, eating the shit out of the intestines. And like, you worried about some illegals getting deported in Minneapolis, motherfucker? Like, priorities, I guess.
To tables, things like commenters.
Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
Talking about rape and sexual abuse, things like comments about kill rooms, and so much disturbing imagery on a public Instagram account for a public pizza place as the media.
Bro, actually eyes wide shut. Oh my God. Wow.
A public Instagram
Who
account
does
for a
that?
public pizza place as the media is running this big kind of smear campaign on
Like,
these
you
questions.
motherfuckers that are saying that shit. Oh, but what about the Epstein files? You don't give a fuck about that. You're just trying to obfuscate. You're trying to tiptoe around. That's all you're trying to do. It's you failed. You've taken a fat L with everything else in your argument. So now it's, but the Epstein files, and you're protecting a pedo. You're protecting a pedo, lobotomite. You're not getting these people out of the country. There are convictions on a lot of these illegals. Some of these guys are so bad, they're having to send them over to like one of the most secure prisons in the world. And it's like, these people are fucking, they're pedos, they're rapists, they kill people in American streets, and it just, oh my God, the hypocrisy. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
I'm glad. Into that pizza place.
Yeah,
with an
shout out to
AR
Ian.
And
For sure.
Shoots
And
the
then you
place
have
up.
like these actors or these music singers saying, well, you can't own anything on stolen land. It's like, okay, well then why don't you open up your house to everyone that's in your community so that way they can have a place to stay if they're homeless? I mean, you've only got like, what, a $38 million mansion? Like, I talk about Billie Eilish.
Doesn't
It's
hit
like,
anybody, but manages to shoot
come on.
right through the hard drive
I'm
that's
jealous.
in the back room and gets arrested by police very publicly. They have a big photo shoot. So then you
Yeah.
can look at it and say, these conspiracy theories are dangerous.
Yeah.
So we can censor them all off the internet because it's been debunked.
Uh-huh.
Don't pay attention to the fact that the guy that owns the pizza place is the boyfriend of the guy that runs Media Matters, who is one of the primary debunkers.
this should be a pretty, this it's kind of ironic that the Epstein files dropped at a time where we have people's brains literally being cooked in Minneapolis. You realize that, hold on, I've got something for y'all. You guys realize that for the past 30 years, the media has been lying about the Pizzagate scandal and have done everything they can to bury it. That's exactly what's going on right now with the Minneapolis situation. They're trying everything they can to make it seem like people are being pulled out of their cars and shit. And it's the same fucking repeat. It's the same rinse and repeat cycle. oh, but all this information that we don't have of all these people being pulled out of their cars and all these, to give you an example, you had people with lawyers coming forward and making accusations whenever the files were under wraps, right? You had people going on to CNN and all these places saying that, the people are, doing this. Well, where are these people at that have supposedly been attacked and assaulted and dragged out of the car? Why aren't they on CNN? Why aren't they being called to any of these big media broadcasters? Where are they at? Where are their videos? Where are their stories? You don't find it interesting that all these people, like, you see a picture of an illegal criminal migrant that has done fucking terrible things to people, and you see their mugshot and their criminal record, and you're like, how the fuck is this guy here? But whenever CNN talks about it, it's yeah, well, you can't have all this stuff going on that goes against the Constitution, but you're not showing any of the footage that these people are claiming. Like, if this is really happening, then why aren't you showing any of that footage? Why aren't you showing footage of people being dragged out illegally of their car and, tased and stuff? But then they do, and then come to find out later that it was only half the information. And it's like, for example, what they did with Renee Good. They posted the very end of it where she tried to run over the ICE agent, and then he shot and killed her. But they don't want, and they tried to spin it as she was going to get her kids from the school and trying to go and do this. And you see these stuffed animals in her dashboard. This is not a person that would have a weapon. She has no weapons. And it's like, then it comes out that she was literally following these guys around, harassing them, using her car as a blockade, trying to run the guy over to the point where he got abdominal, internal bleeding for whenever she hit him. And it's like, it all just falls apart because you're only releasing half the story, thinking that the government's going to cover up the whole thing. And it's like, nah, dude, they're going to release the whole thing and you're going to get cooked. And now that the Epstein files got released, they're trying to say that, well, a whole lot of that's bogus because it's got a lot of incriminating shit on it. It's the same rinse and repeat cycle since Pizzagate.
Of these things.
Man, that is really, damn, bro,
they're named. They had 10 co-conspirators, one of whom was Leslie Wexner. They're named. And the list is long. There's pilots. We know their names. Larry Visosky. There's 3 different pilots. There's a bunch of other.
Let me say this for any of the lobotomites in chat
that we're helping to recruit girls.
Renee Good, Rip Bozo, rest in piss, you won't be missed. That's what happens when you try to run over a federal agent. Sucks to suck. Maybe you shouldn't have done it.
There's a bunch of other people that were trafficking models and bringing models in and out. There's just this long, there's an enormously long list of people in various roles all around Epstein that we know full well were, at the very least, deeply suspiciously involved, where they should be asked some very serious questions. I mean, right up to Ehud Barak, who, by my accounting, looks like the handle.
I'll tell you what, your video evidence that you're magically making up with doesn't void the fact that a federal investigation was done with people who have thousands of hours doing what they do and hundreds of investigations behind their belt. So I'm going to go based on what the people that actually, went to college and got their degrees to do. I'll rely on them to do their job to an extent. How about that? Instead of the lobotomites that sit here and do this retarded shit. Renee does an awesome bowling ball. I know she does, right? She does a really good. She never hit him. I'm rage baiting you retards so that way you can all get banned. If you're wondering what I'm doing. A bruise. He got internal bleeding. You're retarded. It's the culling, boys. It's the culling. Renee does an let's see. 300-pound SUV. It is a weapon. That's right. It's a lethal weapon. An SUV is a weapon. Just so we're aware. In his video, you actually get hit by the car. What happens with zero critical thinking skills or reading a book? What happens with zero critical? She didn't hit him. She did. Bye-bye. Renee got what she asked for. She did. She got what she asked for. He got hit as a federal officer. She died like a dog in an adult diaper trying to run him down. Drive, baby, drive. That's right. Drive, baby, drive. I know exactly what that statement means. Duh. Because that's what they told me. Duh. Hide user and look at us. Cannon fodder to do with us as they choose, even in our country of the United States, and boundary lines don't matter when you have that kind of money, wealth. You're a brainless coward and you're banned. Oh man, the culling is good. Good riddance, Renee. That's right, good riddance, Renee. Domestic terrorist going down in history as a domestic terrorist. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I love to see it. Says the child wearing a bathrobe. Man, how come you guys can't find anything? You can't even attack the argument. You got to sit here and try to attack me and how I look. You have nothing to go off of because you're fucking wrong and you're taking fat L's left and right. Like, we are gonna let America decide what's gonna happen in the nation. I agree, we need voter ID and we need to make sure, we need to have policies in place that prevent people like Ilhan Omar, who came from a third world fucking country. We need to take their ability away to be in our politics, period. If you are an immigrant, you shouldn't be moving here and then being elected as an official. We need to get rid of that bullshit. We need to patch that bug, because that's a fucking problem. That's a huge fucking problem. Man, they're just insulting now. Yeah, that's all they got. That's all they have. All they can do is insult you because their fucking argument is retarded. Seriously. Man, yep, and he... Yeah, and the other guy, yeah. Voter ID, without a doubt. Yep, love the bro. Just because you got to school doesn't mean you're smart, just means you spent money. That's right, and you're right. Just because you go to college and you get a degree doesn't mean you're smart, it just means that you spent money. That's how the systems are now. You could get through college straight up Googling everything using Quizlet. Use Quizlet. You can get through college easily. It just means that you paid money to a college system. Congratulations, that doesn't make you smart. That just means that you have a piece of paper that's worthless now in our system because they're hiring illegals left and right. Congratulations, you spent money on a piece of paper that's not going to guarantee you a job. They 100%. ICE is doing it. ICE is doing. Keep up the good work by talking. You're dumb. You're banned. Just got here. Let's see. What am I, brother? What are we talking about? I'm trying to rage bait these retards so that way I can permaban them. There are odd home. Where and term limit? Yeah, we need term limits too. I agree with that. 100% term limits. And age limits too. If you a fucking boomer, your ass shouldn't be in politics because you can't operate a computer, then I can't expect you to regulate child gambling in fucking Fortnite. If you can't fucking operate a computer, you don't need to be in politics. They can operate that computer when they doing all that insider trading, those motherfuckers. So Ted Cruz doesn't deserve to be a senator. I mean, no. I would say that Ted Cruz should have lost his ability to be a senator whenever he decided to go on vacation, whenever people's power was going out for weeks at a time. If you're a senator, you shouldn't even be able to leave the country. And if you are a foreign person, you should renounce all citizenship and you should work 365 days out of the entire year. If you are an elected official, your ass needs to be down on the Senate floor helping Americans. I don't give a fuck about Israel. I don't give a fuck about about a lot of these fucking places. I care about America's best interest. That's what I care about. You shouldn't be taking no motherfucking vacation when you making all that fucking money. Nah, dude. Hell nah. The Renee Good driving school has been closed due to lack of an experienced instructor. Must be nice being able to make money grifting about our politics. It's my politics, dickhead. It's my politics. That's what patriotism looks like, a lot like suspending a money or casting equipment. Yeah, GBT can write a whole essay for you. Hear me out. Maybe letting the feds totally might be a ruse. What the fuck are you complaining about? Idiots don't know who Whistling is. They ever think that 25 million people flood the country will cause costs? Yeah. Well, I mean, like, especially if you've got all these people that are moving in and you're giving them welfare, they're not paying taxes, they don't have jobs, and you have these senators wanting them to vote them into office. Like, you're holding the welfare at hostage to these illegals that have moved into the country. It's like, oh, if you don't vote for me, then they're going to take your welfare away. Well, then, who the fuck do you think they're going to vote for? That's why we need voter ID. We need voter ID. Like, that has to be something that we get, for sure.
He certainly looks like we have all these emails from both Ehud Barak's email server now and from Jeffrey Epstein's trove of documents that corroborate them doing what looks like intelligence.
Just say I'm not a Mossad agent. I remember that. I remember that real well.
Operations all around the world and in the United States. So there's just an endless number of people.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. What? These people, these companies that are hiring these illegals, you need to find these motherfuckers and you need to put them in jail for at least 20 years. Straight up. If you own a company or you're a CEO and there's a chair member, there's board members that are telling that CEO what to do, you need to find each chair member and the CEO and lock them the fuck up. Show them no mercy.
I don't think I did. Wait, did I really?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... No, I didn't. What do you mean? And, yeah, that's... this is a lot, guys. What, you think that they've tried to clone human beings? Absolutely they have. I'm going to be honest. If our government hasn't tried to do that, I want my tax money back. I do. I want it back. If we're not trying to clone people and we're not trying to, like, grow people inside of a lab, I'm getting scammed. I am. Like, I thought we're supposed to be on the edge of this. I thought we're supposed to be trying to move things forward. Like, really? I mean, I'm not even saying, look, there's a lot of reasons why you could grow a person. Why? Well, because you could grow organs that way. Like, that's the main thing. Absolutely. 100%. Like, cloning humans will be the end of humanity? They said that about a lot of things, and it wasn't. And we need a real Captain America also. Yeah, do you think they were successful in cloning human? I don't think they were successful. I don't.
By the way, the fucking retard that's like, well, when are you going to apply for a farm job, doofus? Let me tell you something. If you have an economy where you have to house illegal slave labor, maybe your economy should fail. Have you ever thought of that? They're effectively indentured servants. You don't want to work 50 hours? Oh, well, then I'm just going to have you deported. Okay, well, now you're going to work by 50. Great. Okay, so you don't want, we're not going to give you health insurance. And by the way, Johnny Boy over there, we have to give him health insurance, but we're going to fire him and you're going to get some of your friends in here so that way we don't have to pay health insurance. Oh, what? The ERs are flooding with illegals? What the fuck? Why do I have to stand outside now? Why can't I just go straight in? Well, it's because everything's fucked. That's why. Everything's fucked. You can't even walk into an ER now and get seen by somebody because there's so many people fucking flooding it that you can't even be seen by a doctor. It takes an hour on end because there's so many people that don't have health insurance in the ER because they're guaranteed to be seen by a doctor. Like, it's just from the base foundation, everything that these fucking people argue about is retarded. It's stupid.
Very unlikely. And the reason why I think they weren't successful is because we can't cure cancer. I think with how many diseases that people have that we can't cure, I think that shows that we probably can't replicate the human genome. People going crazy think they found a code word for human meat. So jerky equals child meat. Francis, he better not be talking about the Pope. That better not be the Pope. No. Give me a minute. It better not. There better be another Francis. It's got to be another one. Yeah, oh boy, no.
Yeah, they do. They prefer to hire people with work visas, and I wonder why that is. I wonder why it is they prefer to hire people with work visas. Probably because they can stiff them on checks, pay them under the table, not get taxed as much, and then to boot, they most likely threaten these individuals that have these work visas and tell them that if they're not doing what they want, what the company wants, even if it's immoral to them, and makes them feel like shit, like having to work shitloads of hours, they're just going to deport them. Why else would you want somebody on a work visa? Think about it. Why wouldn't you just get Joe Smo from off the side of the road? It's because they're fucking using it to effectively collar them. It's so obvious. Why else would they be doing this?
Francis has time to come tomorrow. Show me how to make it. Jerky class anyone. He will bring you to taste his new jerky recipe from the restaurant. He sends a warm hello. He's working at a restaurant called Guys, the restaurant's called Cannibal and Cooks. Wait for it. Beef jerky and steak. He has time at 3 p.m. tomorrow if this is okay with you. Here's what I think is really crazy about this email. We analyze the jerky.
They are trying to, well, they're saying on the internet, they're saying that whenever these emails were released, they're talking about cloning children and turning them into beef jerky. Like jerky. Why
didn't we get jerky this week? You said we could not do it.
Like, this is the kind of shit, like, if you go through, there's a lot of shit in the files you can't show on stream. There's a lot of shit that is so, like, depictedly just fucking graphic that it is an immediate community guideline strike. It's an immediate takedown. It's if you just go and read some of the shit that's in the Epstein files, if you're of age, obviously. Some of that shit, dude, will have your stomach turning.
I tried phoning, but it seems like you were checking it. No need for crazy amounts of ice. One should do. There is one bag of beef jerky in the fridge. Please get more than I do. Jerky all the time. And if you went into my house and you took a photo of my house, you'd probably see beef jerky. Wait a minute. It's highly addictive if it's 6 days. It's an old account. Yeah, join the Cannibal Restaurant in New York City. Wait, what?
Yeah, they're not even trying to hide that shit, bro. They're just saying it. The Cannibal Restaurant.
Bags of beef jerky in the downstairs freezer. Why, people? People saying, like, damn, like, what?
So, hold on. So, we're probably not going to do a Midwest safety video today.
They found a
oh yeah, the jerky recipe thing. That's that. We're running out of time, so I'm trying to pick and choose what we're gonna do right now. Renegation with Iran. Did Fox have anything else that came up? Is there anything new with Fox? The fuck is this?
So it has become an all too familiar scene in Minnesota, whether it's Minneapolis or St. Paul. From over the weekend, dozens arrested after an anti-ICE protest occurred outside the federal building, the Whipple building.
Man, it is so nice to see sheriff uniforms out there. It's a beautiful day.
It spiraled into chaos yet again.
It's a great day to catch some felonies, huh, boys?
Our man on the scene, back live on the ground today. Steve, what happened and what's going on today? Hello.
Bill, it does look like more of the same, but actually some key differences in the conflict over this weekend. There were 42 arrests. Normally these are just detentions and releases, but this time it was different. Once that protest turned violent, they were throwing ice and bottles at federal agents. 42 people were arrested, and actually at least 7 sent to jail. They were charged with things.
So I don't think this guy understands what's going on with the ice and the bottles. So what happens is these protesters, they don't want to seem like they're being violent. You know, you can replay these. Not a lot of them talk about this, but when you replay these videos, it's like, oh, well, you know, they're just throwing bottles of water. They freeze the bottles so that way it's ice. And then they throw it at the police, and you could see the bottles like breaking windshields and shit.
Like rioting and assault. So the local police really stepping in, making a difference this time around, and doing it again on the streets around Minneapolis.
Look at all these white people, man. That's crazy. You know, there's less women here than I thought.
In making a difference this time around and doing it again on the streets around Minneapolis. A lot of neighborhoods setting up these temporary roadblocks to try and block ICE from moving around the city freely. And once again, this time over the weekend, it was local police tearing down these mini roadblocks. And here's what a typical
Isn't it a beautiful thing?
interaction looks like between local police and these people building these mini roadblocks.
You're very close to just so you know.
Sir, you need to be on the sidewalk. Why are you helping Nazis?
I cannot think of anywhere I would rather not be than right here.
No place I'd rather be, but this time it's not just federal agents, it's the local police too. For the first time, we're seeing some cooperation hand in hand to try and bring this situation under control. Bill, back to you.
Wow, we'll see.
Isn't it a beautiful thing? I love to see it. I love to see it. It's a great day to be an American, boys.
No, Bill. I have called for...
Nope. No, wait. Where'd it go? No, where'd it go? Where'd it go? No!
So I come from the great land of the chieftain, Elizabeth Warren,
Ooh,
and I would like to know, Maura Healey is our governor, and she
Well, I guess we're gonna finish out the stream with this. Damn it! Tomorrow we're gonna watch a video where a guy snuck onto Epstein Island, and he ran around and almost got caught, but he was able to get up to the temple.
asked citizens of Massachusetts to take illegal immigrants into their homes and house them because they don't have enough housing for all of them. So I just want to know, answer my question first. Are you willing to do what Maura Healey asked the citizens of Massachusetts to do and house illegal immigrants in your own home?
I can think of a lot of really wealthy, rich people, you know, rich and wealthy, that definitely have the space. But you know they're not going to do that, right?
He asked us to do that.
Well, okay, all right. So you gotta understand that, like, well, I didn't listen. Whenever I wanted illegal immigrants to be in the country, I didn't mean near me.
That's right. You know, they're only writing checks that other people have to cash, right? You know, they don't have to cash it themselves. But the minute that these people are going to be held, like, that's what we should do. If you got these rich people that are coming on stage like Billie Eilish, they should build a bigger wall around their property, and then they should just flood that bitch with illegals. Just flood that bitch with illegals. Leave them like that for like a couple days, and don't see how quickly they don't turn around and say the opposing view.
No, I didn't mean that at all.
I wasn't willing to do that, but I was wondering with you and your great...
And you can't say they don't pack themselves into houses like sardines. They do it already. So you know they could probably fit like at least 100 in there, into like that Billie Eilish's mansion and all these rich people. They got all them bedrooms and they've got nobody in there. They can change that.
Exactly the point I'm about to make.
Fucking eminent domain those houses, man.
You're very easily entertained. You with the White House. Very easily entertained. So you're making the point I was about to make, which is it's voluntary. She's asking citizens to step up if they want. Nobody's forcing you. And by the way,
you know what's really sad is that instead of being down there and protesting in the Minneapolis riots, What you could do is set up a fundraiser that helps these people, get an amount of funding that can help them move out of the state. You could rally the Democrats together, right? You help out with, like, there's so many different things that you can do instead of being down there causing riots in Minneapolis. You could start a fundraiser to help these illegals that are in Minneapolis get out and go to a different state. You could rally the Democrats together with your elected officials in that state and get them ready for the midterms the mid stuff that's coming up. You could send letters and emails to your elected officials to tell them what you want to see whenever it's election time. You can do so many other things, but instead of doing, like, you have 4 years to rally the troops, 4 years to do everything that doesn't involve inciting an insurrection, like, straight up, that doesn't involve burning Minneapolis to the ground. And it's like they want to disregard all of that simply to do what? Cause anarchy? Nobody wants that. It's insanity. It's crazy.
We already have programs. Be quiet.
You could be like, look, we want to raise the taxes of certain areas because this is where the super wealthy live. We want to pull taxes from the wealthy. We want to put that tax money towards getting these illegals out because they're technically the reason why they're here anyway, right? Like, let's send them money, and then what we can do is set them up with housing or something. Like, you could do so many other things besides burning the state down, but they don't want to do that.
The question is, will you? I know, I'm getting to it. I'm getting. Just be quiet. I'm getting to it. If you listen.
He said, "See, this is the reason why I would never do this." Because, like, this is like I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, could I just click on that person and ban them? Like, I would never have to think about that.
As he's going to get to it, I'll believe him for now.
Okay. Unfortunately, I will not be taking anybody in because I have a one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you do realize that the only reason why these rich motherfuckers are even in the country is because they're privileged. They are at such a high privilege and abusing the American system to the point where they're literally hoarding all the wealth for the entire country. And then they're hiring and they're hiring illegals to cut costs. They're taking the manufacturing process from overseas, which is also cutting costs. They're importing all those manufactured products and selling it. And they're on top of everything, raising the price on everything because they have solid monopolies on everything in the country. And the sad part is they are able to do this because they are abusing America's laws. That's why they're able to do. If you did this kind of shit in Africa or Australia or fucking Russia, or no, probably not Russia, like in other countries where it's a third, Somalia, if you did this in Somalia, they'd kill you and they'd take all your shit. You'd have a warlord knocking at your door that would immediately kill you and take your house and all your money. They're actively abusing the system that is keeping them wealthy.
New York City.
Oh, I've got a 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, so space is scarce for you. So it's people that have more room than you that have to do it instead. Well, what a surprise. Go figure. How convenient for you. Nobody is illegal in a 1-bedroom studio apartment.
Very expensive, so.
Hold on, you have a 1-bedroom?
Yeah.
You don't have a studio?
No, I do not.
A lot of New Yorkers have studios.
Well, it depends on where you live.
It depends on where you live,
Yeah.
but if you live, where do you live? Well, you don't need to say. I don't want you to die.
I could say it.
But you have a 1-bedroom.
Yes, I do.
A lot of people have studios in New York, so you have an extra room.
You do. Yeah.
Wow.
Even he's calling him out. He's like, well, you've got like an extra room, bro. You got like a living area. Just a studio apartment in New York is insanity, dude. Like, it's insane. You're talking an upwards of like $2,000-$3,000 a month in New York. It's expensive to live in New York.
Want to write checks that other people have to cash.
There it is.
Welcome to everything. This is their entire mentality. This is it. Man. Don't make me face reality. Honestly, I used to not be a big fan of Michael but he's really grown on me. He has. He's been cooking recently.
No, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have any space. Unfortunately, for now, I don't have any space. But if you have space in your home and you want to play,
But like as a theoretical, okay, now let me get back onto the script of me virtue signaling, but not actually doing this. Oh right, yeah. So
You know, one of the biggest problems that I hear, and this will always sit with me and piss me off to no end. This will, I gotta talk about this because it pisses me off. So, hear me out. If you live in the city of Austin, Texas, sure, let's go with Austin, Texas, right? You live in the city. You're looking at, I'm going to give an exacerbated amount, $350,000 a year just to rent. Just to rent. Right, you have to be wealthy to live there, right? And then that rent goes up. And the area around you goes up, right? So you're having to pay more and more. So bear with me. And then you get priced out of your neighborhood because you can no longer afford to live there, right? And you bust your ass working hundreds of hours, right? You making not rich amounts of money, but a decent amount. You would be considered middle class. And now you find yourself in a position where you have to move your entire life because you can no longer afford the area. You don't see a problem with that? It's like a bomb. When a bomb goes off, you have the hypocenter, right? But if you drop a big enough bomb, it's going to affect everything. If you keep raising the heat once the bomb is dropped, it's going to keep growing, right? Well, it's just like the cities. Well, you know, I worked as a firefighter. I made $60,000 a year. That's pretty damn good money. Not as good as it should be, but it's pretty good money. I couldn't afford a house where I was staying at, and the mentality that I kept hearing was, move. Okay. So if I move, I have to drive even farther to get to work now. It's costing me more money. I live in a neighborhood that I can afford. 7 years goes by. I can't afford this neighborhood anymore. Do you not see the problem with that? Do you not see the issue that causes, that mentality of, well, just fucking move? If you move, it's going to follow you. You're running from a problem that's literally following you. It's not going to change. It's going to get worse. Instead of just saying move, maybe you should address the underlying problem. Why the fuck is it going up? Who decided it goes up? It's not inflation. The motherfucker's an apartment. It's the same fucking thing. It doesn't move. It doesn't have a manufacturing cost. It doesn't have an inflation cost. It doesn't have a property fucking value. It's the same shit. How do you decide that it goes up? You know how? Because whenever you own everything in a certain area, you form a monopoly and you raise it and call it inflation. That's how. Duh. Oh, we'll just move. Okay, so you want to spend the rest of your life, instead of living the American dream, which is to get a house, settle down, and not have to worry about that. You got a home base, bro. You got an outpost you're supposed to be able to go home to whenever you bust your ass for 40, 50, 60, 70 fucking hours a week, and you can't afford that no more. What the fuck is the point? What's the point of even having a job? Can't afford it. It's just such a fucking stupid mentality.
Now, let's get right back to it. His logic got bodied? Well, it's not logic. This is the thing that I'm saying, is that it's completely self-serving narcissistic values. There is no virtue in this at all.
To a program that we've already had for a very long time. You can do so.
And you're right.
Nobody's forcing you to take anybody in your home.
Well, they are, really. They're forcing you to take people in your community. Like, would he want to live next door? Like, if he had a wife and kids, would you want to live next door to a family or to a house with 5 illegal alien military-aged men in it if you had 2 young girls? Would you want to live in, would you want to be in that situation? No, absolutely not. So this is the kind of stuff that like people like this, it's always an abstraction. It's always, well, you know, it's not in my house. Well, it's also not, you don't want it in your neighborhood either. You want, at the end of the day, this is what these people want to do. They want to flood the country with infinity third worlders so it can satisfy their suicidal empathy. That's what they care about. They care about being seen as a good person and making the right opinions. This is outrageous. None of these people want to deal with illegal aliens themselves.
Obviously.
They want other people to deal with it, and then they can reap the virtue rewards themselves.
And these are the same people that aren't going to have to take out welfare. You do realize that Social Security, at the rate it's going, is going to be gone by the time 2035 rolls around. We will no longer have Social Security checks because of how many of these people are in the country drawing welfare. They're slurping all the money up, bro. They're taking all the money. It's going.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
That's
exactly
right.
it. And meanwhile, I want to let you guys know that I live in the same working class neighborhood that I always have. So does my dad. I live around plenty of illegals. Trust me. How do you know they're illegal? They're fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But I still don't think we should have that happen. I think it should happen. It's not a big deal. Just so you know, yeah. And so, like, this is the thing, is that these are people that are living in the lap of luxury. Meanwhile, they want everybody else in a working class neighborhood,
to work themselves to death and die. You are a cog in their fucked up machinery. They want you to take it up the ass and like it. You will pay for everything and own nothing. That's what they want. They want you to work until you die, and they want you to like it.
Class environment to have their labor
back in like the 90s, early 90s, I mean, even in the 80s, you could work a job and support your entire family. Just you. You could own a house, you could have a car, you could have insurance, you could have 3 kids, nice house, nice neighborhood. Wife that sit at home and do fuck all day if you want. You can't have that now. Now everybody has to work. Bro, you got the kids barely getting out of diapers having to go to work. The fuck?
Valued, and to have their communities overrun by illegal foreigners. It's because people like him...
And that's if you can get a job. With all these illegals flooding the countries, taking all the damn jobs, that's if you can find one.
That's the real reason. Rat them out? Huh. I don't know. It's not really a big deal. It's not my problem. If they're illegal, why don't you report them if you support ICE? Because the real reason why is that I think they're illegal, but I don't, like... I'm not sure. And I would feel like it would be wrong to just go and report people to ICE when I don't really know that. Like, just because if, like, 8 people live in a house, like, yeah, I think they're probably illegal. But I don't feel like it would be the right thing to do to go and report somebody just on a hunch. Is that fair? So I even
And
say
you're right. You're right. What's crazy is, and here's the sad part, these rich people manage to dodge a lot of taxes. They dodge so much taxes. And the poor people are getting taxed to death. Literally. They want, and here's the reason why, they want you to stay in your income bracket. That's why. The more you make, the more taxes they take, so you can stay where you're at. They don't want to make another millionaire overnight. They want you to stay where you're at so they can keep hoarding all the money. And they dodge the taxes because they have the resources to do it. You'd be surprised how many of them are able to dodge these taxes like that.
Well,
I mean, that's one of the entire reasons why Trump was going to get locked up.
Explain the reason why I'm saying it. It's because a lot of these people don't actually live around any illegals, and I do. That's the reason why. Is that they don't even have to deal with the consequences. They probably never have had to. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing, too, is that Oh, these are the same as like all these white people walking around. Well, they don't. Well, don't they have a higher rate of crime? It's like, oh, despite only being 14%, you sound like a fucking racist.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? They don't even know what the word computer is.
Nobody's forcing you to take anybody or in your home.
Wow, to hear I live in a 1-bedroom in New York and I don't have any space. That's a mansion.
Well,
in New
you're
York.
from New
Hold
York.
on.
You know New York. There's no space in New York. My one bedroom's.
If there's
It's always going to be an excuse. It'll always be an excuse. Well, I've only got like a $300 million mansion out in the hills of Beverly, and it's all gated off and walled off. They wouldn't like it there. It's too whitewashed. You know, you wouldn't want to stay there.
New York, then why wouldn't you agree to deport all the migrants and the illegals?
If it's crowded, then why wouldn't you get them out?
And that why won't you criticize Zoran Mandami for not cooperating with ICE if there's no space in New York?
And you know what also causes the cost of living to go up in cities? When you import a bunch of illegals and then you give them welfare and free housing, and it causes the entire area price to go, it causes it to skyrocket, dude. Because you've got all these people here that are using up all this housing, and they're able to charge them whatever they want because they're getting the money directly from the government put it into their accounts. So they're causing this insane inflation in the economy. To boot, like, that's what they did in New York. They busted a bunch of fucking illegals, gave them welfare, gave them food stamps, gave them a fucking free apartment, while you got veterans that served in fucking Iraq and other places around the world sitting on a fucking street. Like, what logic is there in that?
Like, this is the problem, is like there is no logical consistency to any of this.
No, there's not.
It's not at all. Like, and even it's like the amount of dissonance that these people have is like shocking to me. Genuinely shocking.
You know
Is that okay, man? I don't.
Well,
think,
you've never seen
I don't
it, but
think
crazy.
These migrants. I don't think they need a lot of space. You know, you give them a nice little bed anyway.
A small little box? I don't know about that. Yeah, and no, I did see this, and again, I find it to be, I find it to be so embarrassing that these people. I saw a couple other clips from this too that I think might be worth listening to. Here we go. Where did it go? I think I did see. No, that's not it. And then this is. Oh, here we go.
So throughout this entire conversation of immigration, I keep hearing from Chris and I believe Harry as well that we need to deport only violent criminal illegals.
Yeah.
It is insane that on a public platform you would be willing to put.
You know, I honestly think Trump, every time he hears this, is laughing. Listen to what he said. Trump wants ICE to deport all these violent criminal illegals. I've picked up on this and I haven't talked about it yet. In that statement, and Trump has typed this out several times, what word stands out the most out of violent criminal illegals? Because there's one thing that they all are by being here illegally. They're criminals. So them repeating this shows how stupid they are. But Trump only said the violent criminal illegals. Well, they're breaking the law. That makes them a criminal, does it not? Doesn't have to be violent. Still criminal. So just by saying that, they're taking the same context that you do when you read the First and Second Amendment. They're cherry picking.
Fellow countrymen aside for foreigners who do not have any right to be here. And this is the reason.
Wait.
This is the reason I say that. This is my
Patriot alert. We got a real one here.
reasoning. My reasoning is I'm sick and tired of seeing articles of like Trenda Aragua rapes a woman in this state, MS-13 rapes a man in this state, or woman, or whatever it be. They're freaking crazy. My issue is all of these people, you can't say violent criminal aliens because we didn't know they were violent before we looked into them. We have no...
That's right. How do you know they're violent? Well, they have to come here and commit violence first. Wait a minute. I've got a crazy idea. Let's not find out.
Yep.
Let's just...
This is what Trump should do. He should mobilize the army, go to each state, like start from one side of the country, and in a sweeping motion like a comb, go from one side of the country and move all the way across. Every state that they go to, the military acts as the police, and the ICE agents act as, well, the ICE agents. And you round all these people up, you put them in a choke at the very end, and you get them all the fuck out. Watch the entire nation's crime plummet. Watch. Watch.
Let's just not find out. How about that?
And you ain't even got, you don't even have to get the illegals. Get everybody. Everybody, even if they're a citizen and they've committed crimes and they've got warrants or felonies out on them, round them the fuck up. Go door to door. You ain't got nothing to hide in your house, then let them in. I would do that. I'd be like, yo, come on up in here. You guys want a drink? Grab one out the fridge, man. I ain't got nothing to hide up in this bitch. I ain't harboring anybody. I didn't do anything. I'm tired of being the only one that doesn't have a criminal record. Like, what the fuck?
Idea who these people are.
I'll answer.
30 years.
That's a great point.
Hold on.
I like this guy. He's a bad point, though.
I want to say two things. You say, like, cast your fellow Americans aside. I think at all levels, immigration helps American citizens. I thought that this Cato...
Focus on his point.
I will focus on his...
Immigration helps Americans. It does not help working class Americans to have their jobs be injected with tons of illegal migrants that are competing for the same jobs. This does not help Americans. Like, it's so obvious this isn't true.
Just came to say base.
The only people that benefit from illegal immigration...
No, you see, I should be getting paid for the shit that I'm saying, bro. My ideas would have this country... Like, you realize that if you did this, you would have this problem solved within the first year. He'd be done with getting these guys out. We could probably make a program that would allow people that want to come here legally. We could reform that and make it a little tad bit easier, and then start putting felony charges on all these fucking jobs that allowed all these people to come in and take American jobs. Like, the first year would be done. We'd be done with deporting people by the first year if you did that. Straight up. And I'm not even talking like the light army. I'm talking like row panzers up the fucking block. You know, it would be a great way to get, like, the American people involved with the military. It would. Not every military in the fucking free world has to be violent. You could let the kids come up and touch the tanks. You can let them, you know, like, if you have, like, you could have the gun lessons of, like, don't ever point this at anything you don't intend to kill. Then you can do the same thing with the cars, too, you know? Don't ever drive this at anybody you don't intend to kill. And, you know, like, you could really solve a lot of problems and a lot of, like, issues by doing this. Is the reason why firefighters, they go to public schools and they get in their bunker gear so kids don't get scared of them. You don't have a reason to be scared of these people. Now, if you're a criminal, get fucked, loser. Don't be a criminal. Why are we catering to criminals now? Why? Why are we catering to criminals? I'm tired of being a fucking a law-abiding citizen getting my fucking shit taken away by illegals and fucking criminals. The fuck? Like, I should be able to go downstairs and get in my car without going out on a Monday morning and seeing that the bitch got broken into and it was involved in a high-speed chase. I should be able to go downstairs and never have to worry about getting into my car that is now in a fucking, it's locked up because of some criminal retards. Come on. Why are we catering to these people?
The millionaire and billionaire business class. The working class people don't benefit.
No, I'm in Texas. And you know what? Oh, I've been wanting to leave Texas for a little bit now. But now that I've seen everything that's going on, I ain't going nowhere.
White people don't benefit from it. Hispanic people don't benefit from it. Blacks don't benefit from it. No, but men don't benefit from it. Women don't benefit from it. The only group that benefits from it are rich 1%ers that can exploit their labor. Everybody else, and I would say also upper middle class to upper class people that can also exploit their labor directly through, like, housekeeping services and landscaping and things like that too.
Regardless of the economic data that shows that undocumented people support the United States.
And you've got a good point. If you can find a fucking job, that's the problem. Texas is a great place. So is Florida. If you can find a fucking job, bro. That's the crazy part.
For a variety of reasons. It's also through two separate studies.
They support that if This doesn't even make sense. So, like, you're saying that the United States needs a bunch of illegal aliens? Like, no, it does not. Like, do you really think that we've had 20 million illegal aliens for the entire time? Like, what about in, like, 1990? We had, like, very, very few of them. Compared to now, it was nothing.
Undocumented individuals are less likely to commit violent crimes than native-born U.S. citizens.
being here is a
We
crime
are,
itself,
hold on, okay.
Jacob's question is, why...
Listen to the qualifier that they use.
He's never going to answer the question. He's going to tiptoe around it.
That, yeah.
And you know why these big entertainers are tiptoeing around it now? Is because if they show to the people that are cultivating this any form of going against it, they immediately get alienated. They are cultivating this violent society that will immediately turn on them the second they say anything that goes against what they're trying to promote. Anything. You saw it with Emaru this morning, how she wanted to stay apolitical, and she got 31 million views on a post where she was just like, I don't want to get involved. And they're trying to cancel her. She's a gaming streamer that does cosplay. Why the fuck does she talk about, why would she talk about politics? That's retarded. Hey, what are we doing?
Maybe they do commit less violent crimes. I wasn't aware that every crime was violent. It's because they commit other crimes instead of that, too. He just said undocumented immigrants. Well, I'm just saying, in general, by taking money Americans can and squatting on it. Yeah, exactly. Shit enrages me. I know. It's a snap argument that a dollar spent on snack contributes 1.1x dollars to the economy and ignores the lost opportunity cost. Well, I mean, like, if you could do that, you could just infinitely make money.
Would you throw your native fellow Americans under the bus because you say we should deport the violent criminal native, illegal aliens, but we only know that they're violent criminals
after
once
they're
they have
violent.
committed the crime.
Yes.
And the premise here is that none of these crimes, not a single...
And none of these people would be willing to take this risk with somebody that they care about or
Yeah.
somebody that they love or
And,
themselves.
and Asvin brought up a good point yesterday, or I think it was Friday. I don't know. If Trump doesn't get these illegals out of here and you don't see these people get arrested and put in jail, vote Democrat again. I'm tired of a slow decline with Republicans, a slow controlled decline with Republicans. Let's speed this motherfucker up. Vote Democrat. Speed it up. Let's burn it to the fucking ground. You want to see what would really happen? If the Republicans weren't brake pumping this shit, accelerate it right into the fucking wall. Let the Democrats do what they want. Let the country get flooded with illegals. I guarantee you're going to see a lot of these rich people roaching the fuck out. Watch. Especially whenever these criminals start burning cities down. Accelerate it.
It's only it's the only people that need to take this risk are other people that take it on for them.
Single one of them would have been committed.
You can't
if the
say that
illegals had simply been
unless
deported.
you have actual
That's the
proof.
point.
Unless you have actual proof that he's done something, you cannot say that. It is slander. It's defamation. Do not type that in my chat. If you've got social media people coming forward and apologizing to Trump because they don't want to get fucking sued, do not say that in my chat. There is no legal convictions yet. Fingers crossed. Don't say that. Don't say that.
He's completely right about this. He is. He's totally right.
Even if you think it's true, even if it might be true, don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. I don't want to be held liable for any of that
There would
shit.
be no crime in general if it didn't happen. Like, yeah, it's really just that's comparing native-born people.
I'm 31, you fucking idiot. I'm 31. I was a school bus driver, United States Postal Service carrier. I was a fucking firefighter. I went to college to be a firefighter. I've worked at Walmart. I've worked at motherfucking Sonic, dude. Like, I've had a whole fucking life. I think I know.
Country is different than going to another country and committing a crime. Yeah, there's also that too. People moving out of state in droves because they don't want to live near these people and pay these taxes. Yeah, absolutely. Let's be honest, most of the jobs that they do, Americans wouldn't
No,
touch.
I'm 31 and you're
Why
banned.
won't Americans
Bye-bye.
touch them? They won't touch them because
They're
the
31
wages for
years
those
to
jobs
get
are very, very
stupid.
low, and they're really bad jobs. So the solution, so you've
conviction
identified a
happens, we
problem,
still
and I
moving
think that that's a
forward with
valid
Trump's
problem, and you're
plan.
right about
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
But
Like,
I don't agree.
if you think that for 1 second that if Trump got, let's say in a magical fairy tale world where these people, these rich motherfuckers actually get locked up and Trump is involved, right? Let's say that happens. JD Vance is the vice president. He has nothing to do with the Epstein files. He takes office and he continues to move forward with Trump's plan. Now what? What are you going to bitch about now? It'll be something else, right? It'll always be something else.
Agree with your solution for it. So if your solution to Americans not wanting to do certain jobs is that we need to hire an underclass of people that we can effectively use as second-class indentured
You're
servants,
fucking retarded.
I don't agree with that. I think that we
You're
should look for
celebrating
technological
deportation.
solutions.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, get them out, dude.
At paying those people a better living wage so they can feel like
Deportations
that
of
job
criminals
is
from
worth
my
it to them.
country. Yes,
Like,
sir.
Those are the solutions that I think that we should go with, rather than actually just bringing in a bunch of illegal aliens. Yeah, I mean, duh, of course. So, I mean, it's not like there's not, and again, like
I agree.
You're right.
If JD Vance takes over office, if you think Trump is bad, Vance is more radical than him. Vance would probably have already used the Insurrection Acts. You know why? Because unlike these old motherfucking boomers that are fucking held under all this blackmail that they got from the Epstein files, Vance doesn't give a fuck. And if you think this is bad, if they get somebody that's like of the ripe age of like 35 to 40 that had nothing to do with any of this boomer drama bullshit, you guys are fucked. If you think Trump is bad, I guarantee you there is somebody behind closed doors that is pulling his hands like a puppet, telling him what he can and can't do and say and can't say. Someone like Vance, who has no fucking blackmail. Bro, they've already called him couch fucker and horse semen drinker and shit. He fucking laughed that shit off. The memes of him having a fat face, he wore that shit on Halloween. You can't hurt somebody like Vance. You only charge him. You give him more power because he's going to make fun of you. He thinks that shit's funny. He sat there and talked about Hassan Piker shocking his fucking dog on stream. You can't hurt somebody like that. You can't hurt somebody like Asman or me. I don't give a fuck what the popular opinion is. I'm going to look at a situation and be like, that's fucked up. That's how it is. I don't give a fuck. I'm not left or right. I can look at a situation and pick it apart and be like, well, that's not right. I immediately do with the Renee Good shit. Like, all those fucking camera angles that didn't show a damn thing except somebody trying to run over an ICE agent and getting shot and killed. Sucks to suck. Maybe you shouldn't have done it. And then the whole thing comes out and it's like, oh, big surprise. Guy ended up in the hospital with internal bleeding.
You're right. This is a legitimate problem.
Tried to
but
run him
I
over.
don't
Like
that solution. They save.
And you know what's crazy? Is roles reversed. These fucking lobotomites would be saying, "Oh man, Ice Age, got what was coming to him. You know, fuck that dude, run him over, pop his head like a fucking pimple." That's exactly what they'd be saying. You know how I know that? Charlie Kirk. They said the same shit whenever Charlie Kirk's blood was fucking spewing out of his neck. Whenever he was trying to give a fucking just not even a speech, just to try and debate with people. And then people were coming forward after that saying that they should kill his fucking kids. You gotta be a sick, sadistic piece of human trash if you're trying to advocate for somebody's kids to get killed, bro. That's how you radicalize people against you. You're fucking crazy. You should just be thankful that the other side of this political spectrum isn't as radical as these fucks are. Guarantee you things would be way different.
Do you know who, like, whenever you say they save money, do you know who they're saving money from? The federal government by paying their fair share of the taxes. They're saving money by not chipping in and kicking in to the government in the way that they should. They should be kicking in and they should be putting money into that, and they're not doing it. They're cheating everybody.
Well, if he's part of it, then why did they kill him? Didn't you think that it would make more sense to keep him alive so that way he can show the strength? Why would you turn somebody like that into that mentality is just stupid. That is just stupid. Well, he's all part of it. Well, obviously not. They killed him. They killed his ass.
Do you think that the American people have the right to enforce the laws duly passed by Congress to have their own borders and define who's in the country?
I think
yes or no?
Hold on. No, because I think it's a dishonest premise.
It's a simple
There
question.
are so many laws.
Do you think illegals should be deported? Well, it's okay. Well, there's whatever.
But it's the hypocrisy. I think that we should.
I'm not asking about so many laws. I'm asking about this one.
Yes. Can I just say something really quick?
Can you answer the question?
Right now in the United States, we do not have enough native-born. I'm just giving one example before you speak. We do not have enough native-born U.S. citizens to work every single job. If every single undocumented person right now.
So then why not figure out technological solutions to that, or figure out other ways to solve the problem? And also, the amount of jobs that are in the economy is based off of the amount of illegals that are in the economy, because the amount of people that are in the entire country
calm the fuck down.
are going to need that many jobs. Like, if you need to also service illegals, you would lose jobs that would be needed if you removed all the illegals also. Like, it's just it's like the problem is that these people are good at identifying a problem, but they're very bad at creating a solution for it.
Was deported. This instant.
I'm gonna bet.
Hold on.
1 second. I'm gonna bet you in the front row $20. I'm gonna bet you right now $20 that he will not answer my question.
I'm going to answer your question.
I'm gonna. Take
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like the Peretti guy. Like, did he deserve to be shot and killed? Probably not. He was resisting arrest. He did have a firearm, and if they disarmed him and they shot and killed him, then obviously that's fucking wrong. Do an investigation. If the cop is, if the cop is found at fault, put his ass in jail and continue doing keep doing God's work, man. Like, what you talking about? Just because one dude gets shot and killed for being retarded doesn't mean you just shut down the entire operation. That's not how it works. If that's how that worked, then we would be fucked when it comes to every military operation ever done by the U.S. Army. Like, come on.
He's gonna answer it.
Okay,
you're
as
no
a matter of law. The answer is that we should enforce laws in a civil way. And currently,
You do realize that deportation has been going on since 2002, 2003? Since, like, the Twin Towers? You do realize this, right? So, like, they have a process of doing it, and they've been doing it for well over, been well over 15 years now. Shit. It's been a long fucking time. Like, they have a process. They're going through the process like they always do. Why do you fucking care now? That's the real question. Why do you care now?
Man. Wow. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
Civil way is to enforce them. It's
no,
called the civil law.
I disagree.
Chatter is a lobotomite.
Literally what it's called.
There's so many good examples of U.S. laws that we don't enforce all the time.
Yeah. Will you answer my question, or is Harry paying me $20?
What is it?
Should we deport the illegals?
I disagree with the premise of the question.
$20.
20, yeah.
Buddy,
No,
thank you.
It's such an easy idea, and they just can't get it. It's so fucking embarrassing. It's so stupid. I don't even know what to say, man. I really don't. And why is... I mean, it's again, you can't assign... What is this here? You can't assign resources to undocumented...
Nothing that you can't... Here, let me show you something. Let me show you boys something. Let me show you guys something. Check this out. This is the reason why we have the culling in chat every now and then. You'll see like a bunch of people get fucking banned. I'm not even trying to converse with those retards. Hold on. Let me show y'all why I don't converse with these fucking retards. Y'all know about Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? The guy's a fucking genius. Man's a prodigal, right? So this is the reason why I don't bother conversing with these retards. Where's he at? There it is.
Someone I know who doesn't believe we went to the moon. So I said, what kind of evidence would convince you? He said, images of the landing site of the Apollo missions. So I said, okay, here's a website where we sent an orbiter to the moon so that it was close enough, because ground-based telescope, they don't have the resolution to see the landing sites. But if you get close enough to the moon, you can. It photographed the entire surface of the moon, and there were the landing sites, and you saw the rover tracks, the base for the lunar module. That night, he went home and found it. Then he came back and says, NASA could have faked that. Well, I'm done with you. We have no more to talk about. Because he's not ready to be convinced.
There you go. That's right. What's there to say? Nothing that I'm going to say is going to change your mind. Why have the talk? And then you have Florida, where they enforce the law. I'm sorry, but I'm going to make it a fucking routine to play these videos, bro. Seriously.
You resist lawful orders, you're going to jail.
Yes, sir.
Let me be very clear about that.
Yes, sir.
If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail.
Yes, sir.
If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because
Yes, sir.
we're going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail.
They're going to beat the fuck out of you.
If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs.
Yes, sir.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies,
Listen to the audience when he says this.
we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play.
Goddamn fucking straight. You goddamn fucking straight. That's right. That's what a state looks like that doesn't fuck around. Unlike Minnesota. Damn, it is late, boy. I gotta roll, unfortunately. I have to roll. I have to get up out of here because I gotta fucking make all these videos, and I gotta make this stream into videos, and then I've gotta make shorts out of all this shit, and I've gotta upload all that shit to like Instagram, TikTok, other shit, YouTube shorts, and all that, Twitter, and we'll be back on tomorrow. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to about 11:30 usually. But it's Monday, so like we have like a little bit extra videos and stuff. I gotta roll up out of here. We'll be back on tomorrow bright and early. I will see you boys tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Stay friendly. Keep up the good word. Stay away from the crazies. Try to get informed by everything, not just one media site. Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day or their whole life. You never know. And I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow. Also, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Keep being you.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. And this is